A brief recap. Uh, we got some more lore dumping. Um, pretty much learned like a lot of character backstories. Um, shoot. Need to change something on OBS. There we go. We know why Dominic is the way he is, why Pro is the way he is. Really, the only remaining character is Ulrich, and we're in his homeland, and he's thousands of years old. Not that he's told us that yet. But anyway, we got on the pirate ship to head to the desert region of Alarinthia, and we're going to seek an alliance with one of the two, like, prominent figures here so we can have more army. Like I said, it was a lot of lore dumping, so not a whole lot actually happened. I was mostly listening to characters talk, and Ulrich kind of... And Ulrich, bunny sitting for him. And that was pretty funny. But anyway. Good game. Yeah, so we're here. Oh yeah, this is also the land of dragons. So, hell yeah. Alright, town square. Yeah, town square it is. Also, Halen and Sylvie showed up in the side event, and it was... Halen telling Sylvie to feckin' sort himself out, because he's tired of putting up with him. So I found that that was kind of funny. As soon as we enter the town square, Ulrich motions for us all to stay close. People run amok, that's the second time they've used that phrase, while others try to peddle their wares, waving us over. It almost seems just like Museo, but the products must be different. Must be, you can't see them from where you are.
Good. Tavern is in the same place. It's just over there, so we'll make it on time.
Awesome. He crosses his arms and looks around the town square. Then he rubs his arm in a way that almost hides his tattoo. But it's too late. I can already see townspeople staring. Ulrich was definitely hiding something from all of us. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. We had like another heart-to-heart with Ulrich, and he's like, hey, whatever you learned there, don't hate me, please. I promise. Like, please promise me you won't, like, hate me. I'd hate to say he's losing our trust, but he's definitely sus. I could have said suspicious, but... Maymays. Nothing he's told me adds up to what the Alarinthians have said. Almost out of fear, it seems that the townspeople avoid us. Eye contact is as far as we go, leaving us lots of room to maneuver. I guess that helps. It'd suck if they all invaded our personal bubble.
Let's not waste too much time out here, alright? I think we only have a few hours until the ball begins. I'll stay here, but feel free to look around for a bit.
Wait, what? Or are you just like keeping... What? This doesn't make much sense. Why is he not wanting to be with us? Honestly, I expected Alarinthia to be different, but it looks like I'm starting to get an alternate version of Museo. The only thing that stands out is the architecture and the heat. That heat. It didn't change one bit when we got into the city. However, the natives seem used to it, walking around with ease. Most of them aren't fully clothed, wearing a getup much like Ulrich's. I guess it's my fault for expecting something different out of this place. Before we head to the tavern, I decided to look around for a few minutes. Maybe it would be a good idea to talk to Ulrich as well. He's acting strange. There's books to read. It's been a while. People run around town square, clearly on a mission. It's more chaotic than Museo, and is definitely saying something. And that's definitely saying something. Valessa stands there, watching everybody intently. She seems very
Is
interested.
this place always so busy?
Yeah, it can even get worse. The busy hours are closer to nighttime. But not tonight, with the ball and all.
Wouldn't it make
Do
it hyper
people live in
busy?
their market stalls? Like Museo?
No, not really. They get enough business to have their own homes. It's actually the opposite here. Running a stall is a sign of wealth.
So the more you work, the more money you make. See, that actually makes sense. Don't you think?
Yeah, but it doesn't make up for the other shortcomings. The markets are busy and unsafe. People die all the time. It's a cutthroat culture here, so you're always in danger. If I could choose a place to open up a shop, I'd choose Museo. It might be harder and less profitable, but it'd be safe. You wouldn't get caught up in other people's fights.
That happens here?
All the time. It's almost unavoidable. You can't turn around without bumping into anybody here. It gets worse the deeper you go, but we won't go that deep. Of course, the flowing of alcohol doesn't make things easier. People are always rowdy, looking for some fun or a fight. You also wouldn't be able to get some peace and quiet.
Right, alright, you win. Why do so many people do it then? I mean, set up shop and put up with that.
Probably because they don't know anything else. Getting to the mainland is the last thing on their minds. Wherever you grow up, that's what's normal to you.
I guess that makes sense. Valinor is normal to me, and Museo is weird. But I bet it'd be the other way around for Dominic.
Exactly.
Hey, there you go. Learning. On top of the crate rests a book about Dracu's reign. Perhaps some young Alarinthians were reading up on him before the ball. It definitely paints a grim picture of the nation. Dracu must be very strong.
Dracu's reign. In Alarinthia, a ruler is lucky if their reign lasts even a year. However, Dracu has been in power for several decades. This is definitely unheard of. His power is immense, and any challengers to the throne are quickly defeated in the Colosseum without effort. Every year, Dracu hosts a ball in his castle and freely spreads his riches amongst the citizens of Alarinthia. That, coupled with his strength, keeps most of his subjects happy. Many are less inclined to insurrection, and those that attempt to dethrone him are easily defeated. He seems to have a stranglehold on the nation, but it is also one that gives the land a continued sense of peace. However, due to the way that the nation is run, it is only a matter of time until he is dethroned in the Colosseum. He will join the rest of Alarinthia's past rulers, none of which have succumbed to natural causes.
Wow.
Only the strength of others.
I'll turn that back down. I don't know why the book readings are so quiet. There's tons of vases and jars of whatever product people are peddling. Fortem inspects them with a curiosity that I almost can't describe. However, Ulrich is pretty quick to put that curiosity to an end.
Hey, cut that out. You have no idea what's in there. It could be drugs or illegal weapons.
There are illegal weapons?
Oh, of course, you have to improvise around here. Your goal is to always be stronger than everyone else. That requires some creativity, especially in weapon design. The Great Sword even originated in Alarinthia. You don't see many people carrying them on the mainland. I was raised with it, though, so I can't use anything else.
You probably could if you tried.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder what I can find then.
No.
And what part of illegal don't you understand? There are laws in place to prevent more inhumane creations, but those laws fail to reach places like the town square markets. You could touch something laced with poison or worse. Just keep your hands off of this stuff and stay close to me. Always assume that everything here is out to get you.
Wow, you make this place sound so luxurious. But alright, I'll do what you say. For now.
For now. Oh my god. Fortem is fighting his top. I look through the market stalls, a few books on display. There's one about Sixers, so I figured I should give it a read. A term has been thrown around recently, and I wanted to learn more.
On Sixers. Sixers, the nickname for victims of a vicious form of punishment that has since been forbidden. 6 hours is all a person can last before passing out in the harsh deserts of Alarinthia. Then, 6 days later, without sustenance, they pass away. Back in ancient times, this was used as a way to punish criminals and make them prove their self-worth before returning to society. If they could survive for an entire 6 days without food and water, they would be welcomed back into Alarinthia's arms. Of course, the survival rate was low. Many people thought this was a skewed form of punishment, clearly rigged to kill. It was so long ago, but they were likely right. Disposing of criminals before making them serve sentences or deliver a more conventional means of justice was barbaric. At least that's what the activists said. It wasn't very long until their movement gained traction, and this practice was banned. Instead, they gave criminals the chance to fight for their freedom in the Colosseum of Alarinthia. If they won, their sentence would be negated. This was seen as more fair and less rigged against them. This form of resolving conflict and fighting for rights over the ages would soon evolve into something more. Passing laws, deciding leaders, and determining fates of citizens would also go on to be placed in the hands of victors. Now, the nation rests in the hands of the strong.
Okay. That's good. What else is there to look at? Mission, blah, blah,
Is
blah.
this place?
Yeah, it can even get worse.
Yep. Draco. Because... Yep. Hey. What do you think Draco is leading? Do you think Draco is leading us into a trap?
I have no idea, but it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure that we can handle whatever they throw at us. But if he truly does work for Vivian, then we have some good luck.
Work for
We
Viv?
could use some of that, couldn't we?
Oh,
So for
Drakior.
now, I'm going to believe Drakior, but only for now. If anything seems suspicious at the tavern, I'll tip you off. Although, the prospect of a tavern brawl does sound appealing. You haven't seen true fighting until you've seen it in Alarinthia. Just thinking about it gets my blood boiling. It's been too
My
long.
blood boils.
Of course, I'll try my best to keep our visit a peaceful one. I don't want to end up fighting for our freedom in the Colosseum. Their methods of punishing prisoners are still pretty harsh.
What did he mean by the Ulrich of Legend?
I hate to talk about this, so I'll try making it quick. Vivian obviously isn't the first person to rebel against Alarinthia's laws. The first one, at least in recorded history, was named Ulrich, like me. Many people followed after his ideals, including my parents. So much so that they decided to name me after him. I don't
Right.
like it. That's all it is, really. My name is a silly little tribute. I guess it
Right.
doesn't help that I also actually look like him. Or at least all artistic and textual descriptions of him. A pretty cool coincidence, but that's all it is. I knew this stuff would come up as soon as we got here. Just remember, you've known me long before this trip. Don't come to judge me by the things these people say.
Right. How did you actually get those
I'd
tattoos?
rather not talk about that right now, but I have a feeling you'll find out soon enough. It's complicated and we're really short on time.
How are you
Just
so
trust
old?
me, all right? It's nothing bad. I earned these. They weren't ripped off. Let's grab a drink in the tavern and chat.
My man, you said it was nothing bad, and then you said you earned them, and those are given to criminals who survived the punishment. So that literally means you did something that at least they thought was bad. What have you and Pro been talking about?
That's none of your business. Not yet. Again, just trust me, okay? Please. There's lots going on that you don't know.
I wonder if you go to date Ulrich
That's
if
not
he's
to
more
say that
open
you'll
in this
never
arc.
know it. Just sit back and wait until the time is right. I promise that everything will make sense soon.
Anything notable in the town square?
Other than the tavern, not really. There's just the market stalls like Museo. However, there's no laws in place for this stuff. You can buy whatever you want in Alarinthia. Pirates make a living bringing illicit goods overseas. So whatever your heart desires, you can probably find.
Then why is there illegal things?
But I don't think you're the type of person to want that stuff. So if it's all the same to you, we should probably get to the tavern. Remember, we're on a bit of a schedule. Our time is valuable.
Exit. Alright. More parallel chronicles to the tavern. We enter the tavern and make sure to sit close together. It was packed, noisy, and the patrons seemed pretty rowdy. It makes... Wait, no.
It looks just like I remember it.
Shite. I make sure to stick by Ulrich in case something breaks out.
Yes, it looks much like
I
it did in
turned
our
off
time.
auto. It looks just like I remember it. All these years, and nothing has changed. I guess there's no use in trying to change perfection. That was my best Ulrich impression. I'm sorry.
Yes, it looks much like it did in our time as well. If memory serves, Alarinthia is home to a unique wine, Monarch. If you have a drink, we would suggest that.
Wow, he actually knows what he's talking about. I'm buying a few bottles to bring back to the mainland. The climate of Alarinthia affects the taste of everything. Some in a good way and some in a bad way. I won't bore you with the details, but the wine is great. Let's find Vivian and get everything started, shall we?
Shall we? Yes. We all nod to one another and venture deeper into the tavern. It is an open place with no doors. I can see right outside to the market. Makes things noisy, almost unbearably so, but I'll have to deal with it. We approach the bar. I assume Ulrich is going to ask after Vivian. I can't even see Drakior. I look around and notice a bunch of eyes on us. Part of me starts to wonder if it was a trap. Something feels odd. A man sneaks up from behind us and stands between me and Ulrich. He has a drink in his hand and slams it down on the table. Some of it spills on the bar. This man must be intoxicated.
Hey, would you let me buy you a drink?
Gerg.
Something tells me you're not from around here. I know a lot about this place if you need a tour guide.
Before I can answer, Ulrich gently pushes them away.
Look, we don't have time for any antics, but if you know where Vivian is, we could use some help. You're right about us being foreigners. We've come a long way.
Oh, you're looking for Vivian. Why didn't you
Gerg.
say so? Follow me.
Do they not want to draw snouts? Is that why they're all covered up? Ulrich and I stare at each other, at unease.
We'd rather stay here if you don't mind. Following strangers isn't the best idea.
All right. I'll be right back. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I trust you. Have I seen you before? You look familiar.
In the historical works.
No. Now please leave us be. Don't bother us again unless you have Vivian. I'll ask the barkeep in the meantime. Maybe they know.
Like, it makes sense for them to, like, be all covered up when they're outside, but when they're inside, I feel like they can uncover their face with maybe, yeah, I don't know. Mysterious man? The mystery man nods and walks away from us. I doubt he'd be coming back. He was probably a scammer. Is there something about us that makes us easy? Yes. That marks us as easy targets. Literally foreigners.
Now I guess I'll start.
Before he can continue, Drakior sneaks up behind us.
Your manners could use some work, Ulrich.
I use my manners on worthwhile people.
And Vivian isn't one of them?
Ha!
I saw how you just shoved him away.
Wait, what? Vivian is a man?
And an honorable one at that. He deserves to be treated with respect.
I don't believe you.
Most people don't. His parents chose the name. If anything, it keeps the assassins looking for the wrong person. Try
Clever.
and tell me you weren't looking for a female when you entered.
Well, we were. Ulrich shrugs. Drakior had a point, though.
Let's get this over with then. We need to talk about securing an alliance. Then we'll do the same with Draku and take the best deal.
Vivian approaches us and stands.
You told them? I was having fun, Drakior.
Vivian approaches us and stands beside Drakior.
You told them? I was having fun, Drakior. That's in short supply these days. Thanks a lot.
They're on a strict schedule, Vivian. The ball opens up in a matter of hours. Remember, you still have a move to make.
Right. A challenge at the ball. Move aside. I'll explain our plan to Ulrich.
Move aside!
If he has any sense, he'll aid our cause.
Wait, did you?
Right. A challenge at the ball. Move aside. I'll explain our plan to Ulrich.
I missed that bit when he said Ulrich's name. Drakeor nods and steps aside. Comrades gather around, having realized what's going on.
So Vivian is a guy?
Yes.
I guess so. But don't say that too loud. Something tells me it's not common knowledge.
Very smart. Helps you stay incognito. We were all looking for a girl, weren't we?
Yeah, something like that. Either way, I'm glad this worked out. We should probably talk terms with him.
You have a nice group of comrades, Ulrich. Start by telling me about him, though.
Oh, that's another dragon. Vivian stares at me. That was a reasonable request. My position beside Ulrich implies that we are closer than the rest.
This is the monarch, heir to the throne of Alestia. After we take down the triumvirate, this is his world. A crazy claim, I know, but we have proof of everything.
Vivian blinks a few times, clearly confused.
Let's continue under the assumption that I understand. At the end of the day, you want my army to aid you, right?
Right.
Well, this is where it gets a bit weird. I want your army just as much as you want mine. Maybe we can come to some sort of conclusion?
Go on.
I'm going to Draku's ball and challenging him. Tomorrow, I plan to be fighting for the throne. We'll do it right. One last fight in the Colosseum. I had Drakior stay at the docks to watch the new arrivals. If he found a group that looked strong enough, he'd tell me.
Oh,
Fit the
nice.
bill. Better than anyone else. So he spied on you. He heard your group talking about a rebellion and a big army. That's when I knew he hit the jackpot. Our new target was clear. But to know you came here just for me? That's pretty flattering. If you help me take down Draku in the Colosseum, I'll help you. I can offer a few hundred men and maybe more from my throne. Who knows how many people I can rally up if I take over this nation.
But you don't just care about power, right? You plan to change this nation for the better.
Yes. I plan to model ourselves like the mainland. Elections, voters, stuff like that. No more tournaments. We've lost too many amazing people to barbaric, outdated laws.
Vivian, I'll be honest with you here. I want to support you, but the final choice rests with the monarch. After the ball, we need to talk with Draku first and weigh out our options.
Understandable. But be warned. That's when I'm making my move. If he accepts my challenge, we'll be fighting in the morning. You better hurry. That ball is known for huge lines.
So a few hundred men. But what do you want from us? Ulrich looks over at Pro and they nod at each other.
Monarch, I need to tell you something. This is my homeland, and I've always wanted to change it. I have to fight alongside Vivian, even if you ally with Draku. And if Draku's terms involve destroying Vivian's insurrection, then I think we'll be fighting each other in the Colosseum. Remember that these are fights to the death. I have no other choice.
Oh, okay. Fighting Ulrich? There's no way I could do that.
I'll choose Ulrich as my champion then.
Oh. Wait. Oh, so they champion?
Each side gets to choose a champion to fight with them.
With them.
Aside from that, they get to choose 20 to 30 fighters. Everybody that didn't make the cut for champion as an example. This means that myself, Ulrich, and my army would fight in the Colosseum. The battle ends when either the champion or the leader has fallen. Now, I know for a fact that Draku doesn't like to lose his own men. So, if I challenge him at the ball, after you ask him for his support, I bet he'll make you fight me for it. You know, use your men instead. He's predictable, but you use that to your advantage, Monarch.
Oh, nice. He's
I
calling
hope
me
it doesn't
Monarch.
come down to fighting each other. But for the future of this nation, I will do what I must. Now let's get to that ball and see what Draku wants.
Oh boy.
He's probably expecting you. If Drakior scoped you out, I'm betting Westy did too. That's Draku's right hand. Just be careful out there. I'll be making my move right after he addresses his people. Make sure you're there. That happens in the throne room. Just don't make the wrong choice, Monarch. Go with me.
I mean, you make a pretty strong case. Also, the fact that, you know, Ulrich, he smiles before walking away with Drakior in tow. Though he needed us just as much as we needed him. So I guess he doesn't necessarily want our men or army. He wants Ulrich. He wants some power to boost his chances in the Colosseum. I guess in that case that worked in our favor. I didn't expect Ulrich to side with Vivian, though. Why not? Everything you've heard about Vivian and Ulrich line up with each other. Though I guess maybe you weren't expecting him to just take such a hard stance. I thought he'd wait for my choice and fight alongside me. I know we could be enemies in the Colosseum. That's terrifying. But it seems like a real possibility with each passing second. It makes sense for Draku to use expendable foreigners as his supporting fighters. At the end of the day, it really only mattered who the leader and champion were. Vivian and Ulrich, Draku and who? I guess we'd find out. We stay in the tavern for a while before leaving. However, our next destination was clear. The castle. Hopefully the line for the ball wasn't horribly long. My favorite fluffy boy. Ovi knelt before his masters with Halen and Shane behind him. The time had finally come to tell them what happened in Mazeo. Having Halen's support, however, meant they wouldn't learn the full truth.
The general of the rebellion has fallen. Good work, Shane. You've earned our trust. We had a feeling you'd prove yourself useful. But what of the seer? We notice that you don't have our blade.
I feel like they already know.
This displeases us. Please, explain, Sophie.
We thought it better to damage their morale. They have the blade, but they can never recover. Next time we see them, it'll be like crushing an insect.
You failed your mission, Sophie. We wanted you to retrieve that blade. Now they have time to regroup and replan.
Yes, they have time, but not enough. I know where they'll be going, Masters. With your permission, I'll go and end this.
End what should already be over? Sophie, do you realize what you've done? There's a reason we needed that blade. But you failed to retrieve it, and let the seer get away. Any silver lining you can come up with is simply not enough. Domek's death will only fuel them with rage to use against us.
Only if we give it time to fester. We can leave immediately. Please.
Halen, is Sophie speaking the truth? Do you trust his ability to carry out another mission?
Halen steps forward, nervous. Gulping, he looks at his masters.
No.
Sophie looks shocked as Halen had promised him discretion. He grits his teeth in anger, taking deep breaths, trying to stay calm.
Tell us what really happened, Halen. We need to know in order to plan our next move.
Of course, Masters. Sovi failed on purpose. He had the blade and the seer's life, but took neither. I don't know why. I regret letting him run off alone.
Halen.
Sophie's loud cry echoes through the triumvirate chambers. His masters shake their heads, clearly displeased at this news.
He planned to deceive you all along. In fact, he had me promise to lie as well. I did, but I plan to tell you regardless.
Halen kneels down, swearing
I
fealty.
am unable to lie to you, Masters. You gave me life, and for that I am grateful.
Oh, you look
Shane and
cool.
myself can carry out the next mission. At this time, Sovi is unfit for duty. It pains me to say, but it is the truth.
The triumvirate pauses, taking a few minutes. For a few minutes. The eerie silence fills the room before they speak again. Sylvie and Halen, both kneeling, look up at their masters.
Rise, Grand Inquisitor.
Halen. Sylvie slowly rises, fist trembling with anger.
No.
Yup.
Not you, Sophie.
Halen.
What?
Grand Inquisitor. Please rise.
They say it again, and Halen looks around confused. A few moments later, he rises, standing up beside Sophie.
Masters?
Sophie is hereby stripped of the rank of Grand Inquisitor. Halen, taking this mantle, you will train Shane as your apprentice. We trust that you will do as we command, and avoid letting us down.
Sophie takes a few steps back, while Halen...
Please, Masters, I beg you to reconsider.
While Halen nods.
Please, Masters, I beg you to reconsider. We have them in our grasp. We can do this.
No. Sorry.
Sophie, we would have understood the failure of your mission. But lying to us, the lack of loyalty and honesty is unacceptable. It's almost starting to seem like your allegiance lies somewhere else.
It doesn't. I swear.
We cannot be certain that you're telling the truth. Surely you can see how that lie has damaged our trust. Halen, however, has
predictable.
proven to be nothing but loyal. Shane killed a key member of the rebellion as well. You come back to us with nothing to show but deception. It hurts us, and so you must be punished for your actions.
Sophie's head slumps down, accepting defeat. If he wanted to win them back, he just had to endure this punishment. Fighting it was useless and would only seem to make things worse for him. Serve.
Very well. I understand. But know that I will make this up to you. Until you need me again, I'll be in my chambers.
He starts to walk away, but is quickly stopped by his masters.
No.
You're going to prison, bitch. Turning around, the look of anger is more apparent on his face.
Excuse me?
Your punishment must be rather severe. Without that blade, we are vulnerable.
Then tell me what you plan to do. There is no pain I will not endure for you.
Halen, Shane, come here.
Doing as instructed, they approach the triumvirate. They turn around, and Sylvie is faced by all 5 of his now superiors.
We no longer have any use for you, Sophie. The Inquisition has been reformed.
Oh.
And is now stronger. We have no choice but to exile you from Balteus. Permanently.
What?
Nani?
You will leave immediately. This is
You know,
non-negotiable.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't
Set
kill him.
in stone.
Sylvie shakes his head, clearly fighting back tears.
After everything I've done for you, you're going to what? Just throw me away?
Yes. Without Rain in danger, we need a strong core. We need men who can get the job done, without question. This is something you seem to be incapable of, Sophie.
There must be something I can do.
Leave.
No, Sophie. There's nothing you can do. It's too late. Unless you march in here with that blade and the seer. Well, to put it bluntly, we never wish to see your face again.
Damn. I'm honestly surprised that they let him live, I'll be honest.
So we might have to fight Ulrich. That's pretty scary to think about, Pro.
Only if the Monarch sides with Draku, Valessa. There's still a pretty good chance that won't happen. I wonder who Draku will elect as his champion, though.
Well, his army is supposed to be incredibly powerful. He must get to handpick the strongest Alorinthians. I'm sure Ulrich can handle it, though. At least, I hope.
Well, Draku doesn't like to waste his men, remember? It's possible he'll elect an outsider, meaning one of us. Vivian is like an insect to him. Super easy to crush.
So, we'll be fighting each other in the end? Isn't it supposed to be a fight to the death?
Yep.
Exciting, isn't it?
No!
No, it's not. That means one of us will die.
Not exactly.
Huh?
The match ends if the champion or the leader falls. It'd be possible to end this with Vivian or Draku's death. The champion is just there to spice things up, I guess. If it were just the two leaders, they'd only fight each other. Having two champions ensures the fight constantly changes pace. It makes things sound more interesting, at least. You need strategy. Watching two leaders in an unending deadlock would be boring. The champions and a small army of men really shake it up. And make sure the leaders are at the top of their game too. They have to watch every direction and constantly be ready. It serves to show us how strong they truly are. It's crazy. Draku is undefeated, but Ulrich might just stand a chance.
I think you're kind of missing my point, Pro.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think of Vivian and Draku as expendable. At the end of the day, one of us will die, no matter what. Even if it's one of them, it's still something I'd like to avoid.
Then it sounds like you side with Vivian, then. Draku's death would be the final death in the Colosseum. There'd be no more fights like this under his reign.
I know you're right, but it's not so easy. We have to kill him just because he thinks differently? There's no way to avoid casualties, and I hate that.
Yeah, but it's not just Alarinthia, Valessa. You could say that about this entire war in general. Sometimes it's better to look at people as means to an end.
I can never do that.
A lot of people feel the same way, trust me. But that's probably why the Triumvirate is in charge. We need to start looking at things differently if we want to win.
If we have to compromise ourselves, then is it truly winning? I don't know, Pro. I think I need a little bit of time to myself.
Of course.
Right, and then these
I
two.
don't want to watch Ulrich fight in the Colosseum. If the Monarch sides with Draku, then he could die.
But he's prepared to die for his beliefs, Fortame. There isn't a better way to go. A true, noble end.
Honestly, I'd prefer if his life had no end at all. I have a feeling this choice will end up dividing us. I don't want to fight against Ulrich or watch him die.
It's all about respecting his wishes, Fortame. If he puts his life on the line for Alarinthia, we can't deny that. You do the same for Valinor. In fact, you already are.
Really?
This war is just battle after battle, Fortame. You put your life on the line back at Rebel HQ. That means you are ready to die for your beliefs.
I guess you're right when you put it that way.
So Ulrich isn't just fighting for Alarinthia. Remember that our army gets a boost out of this. At the end of the day, it benefits all of Alestia.
But what if the person we side with loses?
That's what makes things difficult, Fortame. Vivian is the right choice, in my opinion, but not the correct one. The correct choice is Draku. He's won every battle and has a huge army.
This is pretty complicated. So far, every choice was concrete. There was no room to choose and then lose.
Alarinthia is different than everything we know. I guess it makes sense that things would change once we arrived. The monarch has a tough choice to make. It's a gamble at best.
It shouldn't have to be that way, though. The future of a nation in our world is a gamble? That's bad news. Vivian has the right idea here for sure.
You mean abolishing Colosseum battles?
Yeah. Things should be just like the rest of Alestia. If they were, then we wouldn't even be in this situation.
But we shouldn't change something just because we don't like it. That's what the Triumvirate did to this world. We can't be like them. Alarinthia has been fine since the dawn of time. It can continue to be fine.
So, that is the argument that Hal literally used against him. So either he's just going back on what he said, or he's accepting new beliefs. I guess that could be it. Also, hi Hoodie, welcome. Our bottoms are talking. That didn't sound right. Anyway.
Besides, Valinor
How
is the
you doing?
exact same way. Independent, with its own hierarchy and leadership.
It was, but I'm going to change that. As the Elder, I want unity with the other nations. I think the same would be best for Alarinthia. The Triumvirate changed this world to suit them, right? That's not what we are doing. We're liberating it, making it better. Our end goal is different, so I don't think we can be compared to them.
You have a point, actually. Maybe I've got the wrong idea. A flip coin does the same thing until it lands, after all. The truth is only shown after everything is said and done.
Exactly.
That's,
In that case, maybe I do side with Vivian. With Ulrich's strength, he may stand a chance. I hope the monarch is on the same page as us.
I guess we'll find out
Would you like
once
to
we
try
get to
again?
the ball. But
Our
I
two
wonder if
favorite
Draku will
characters in
request
this
our
game
aid.
are talking.
And for that matter, who will its champion be? Gosh, I hope things don't get even more complicated. Not sure I could handle a web more tangled than this.
Also, Vivian is a guy.
Oh, come on.
Just so you
What's
know.
the worst that could
And they're a
happen?
dragon. Those are the other notable things that have happened so far. Oh, heart-to-heart number 4 with Ulrich. Ulrich sits at the tavern, taking a large swig of ale. It's hard to accept that if we sided with Draku, he'd be against us. But it's understandable as well. He really wanted to change Alarinthia. I hope that this wouldn't affect the rebellion and our unity. It would if he died, probably. We can't have our key members being at arms with each other.
Have a seat, Monarch. These drinks are on me. I don't want you filling up on Draku's handouts.
I nod and take a seat beside him. I'll drink, but I want some answers. His hasty alliance with Vivian, the lies about his markings, and his past. If he wants my trust, then he needs to tell me everything. I feel lost. I voice those concerns to him as I drink. I voice those concerns to him as the drink he ordered me arrives. Taking a large swig, I sit back and await his response, whatever it may be.
Trust. This isn't about trust, Monarch. Your trust in me won't affect any of your decisions. In fact, we could win this war without any trust at all. All that matters is the desire to fight for a common cause. Did you think that these little chats we've been having were mandatory? Trust me, I could have done just fine without them. In fact, I'd be better off.
I'll screw you too, then. I'm taken aback by his words. Harsh words. I'm taken aback by his harsh words. But I don't let it provoke me. I simply wait. It's best if I let him get a clear head instead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
He figured it out.
This friendship we're forming complicates things. There's a reason I never kept many friends, Monarch. I'm scared that if I tell you everything, you'll just walk away. Spirits know everybody else did. Look at me. Still using superstition. The spirits had no power over us. No divine plan.
But how was your day, Hoodie? What are you up to? Good old daily grind, mayhaps?
Then why do I find myself still wanting to believe in them? I guess
This is
maybe
easier.
they gave me a sense of comfort in difficult times. It's different now, having difficult times and knowing the truth. What do I believe in if I want to push myself forward? That's what made me want to side with Vivian, no matter what. The desire to change my nation is what drives me to action now. And when we're done here, it'll be the desire to change our world. That's all I've wanted my entire life. It always seems just out of reach. Whenever I think I have it, the triumvirate swoops in and takes it away. They tell you they'll give you what you want. They convince you that they'll make your dreams come true. Then, when they're done with you, they throw you away.
I'm just listening to some furries have dialogues with each other. On a pretty average Monday as well. Though I guess I had a migraine earlier. That went away after I napped. That was the only unaverage thing of today. He lets out a loud sigh and slumps down in his chair. I'm not sure why he's telling me all of this, but I still listen. Even if it's somewhat unrelated, it's helpful to hear him vent, or helpful for him to vent.
What I'm about to tell you, I tell you in confidence. I knew Sovi before he became the Grand Inquisitor. That's how I know so much about the Triumvirate. I saw them take an impressionable young man and ruin him. Turn him into a tool meant to kill without a second thought. They took my friend. And after that, he was no more.
Ah, well he did have a second thought and then didn't kill. Yeah. It's weird to say, but like, I'm like used to them, but they still blow. They still suck. Also, I think there's a pretty decent chance I might get into the thingy, or foi. Because it looks like they didn't have that many submissions, but who knows? It is only going for, I think, 2 days. I don't know if it's 24-hour. Either way, I'm still gonna keep my fingers crossed. Be cool to have IRL dust. Yeah.
That monster we fight may look like my friend, but that man is long gone. They made sure of that. I promised myself I'd never let them do that again. I failed. They got to Shane, just like they got to Sovi. It's almost impossible to shake off their influence. They just have this way of convincing you.
I continue listening and we take turns drinking. Soon after, a second drink comes to each of us, for each of us. I believe every word. I knew there was a connection. I look back to the vision I had of Valenor's destruction. They said some things that revealed a connection, but they said some things that revealed a connection between them. They said some things that revealed a connection between... What? What is this sentence? But I assumed it was just something rivals developed in wartime. Oh. They said some things that revealed a connection between them. But I assumed it was just something rivals developed in wartime. Okay. I had to figure out how to read that. However, to think that Sophie was once good? That's the part I find hard to believe about all of this. I wonder if he can recruit him since he... Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Halen went and told on Sophie, and now Sophie's been exiled. So either he's going to come at us with a vengeance, or he's going to come at us and die. I guess, I don't know. But I like Sophie. I also really want to know what they told him that made him second guess them. Also, he did, like, not kill me. Yet, he spared me when he had my life in his hands.
Well, that's one of the things I had to tell you. It was a long time ago, but it still happened. I won't let it get in the way of my performance. A long time ago, I thought maybe I could win him back. You know, maybe he could change and redeem himself. But I haven't thought that in a long time. Now
Oh
I
boy.
want to kill him.
Sophie might be dead.
For everything he's done to me. For everything he's done to us. There's a point where redemption eludes you.
Redemption
and he's
still
past
eludes
that.
me.
I guess this leads into the second thing I wanted to tell you, Monarch.
Power dumping is pretty justified.
Back in the desert, I told you about how I got these markings. Then Drakior said I ripped them off from the ancient Elorinthians. I wish that was the truth, I really do. But it's not the truth
Yeah,
at all.
I know, you're old as shit.
I always tell people that I'm older than they think. But I only say that to hide how old I really am. It's not a lie. It's more like an omission.
He rests his head in his hands He rests his head in his hands. The second glass now empty.
I'm old enough to have earned these markings the right way. There. I said it. I don't care if you believe me or not. I finally said it. I'm older than any of you could have possibly imagined. Very, very old.
I'm so confused right now. He's claiming to be thousands of years old. As far as I knew, the laws that led to those markings were banned long ago. But not only that, he also used to work with Sovi. I'd say he's our mortal enemy.
Go ahead. Tell me you don't believe me.
I
So
prefer
far,
older
nobody
men.
else
It's no big
has.
deal.
They say it's impossible. And soon after that, they say nothing to me at all.
I believe you. Thor has proven anything that's possible.
Really? You'd be the first.
Aww.
Of course, there was always something different about you. Now that we've been through all of this, we finally know why. Thank you, Monarch. I really mean it. There's more to this story, but that's all we have time for. It's just the basics. Stuff you'll need to know moving forward.
The barkeep comes up to us and asks if we want another drink. Ulrich shakes his head, sending him off on his way, and puts some money down.
My treat, remember? Now let's get going to that ball. Tonight we change history.
We're born to make history. I never watched that show. I didn't care to. What was that? That was Yuri on Ice. The only thing that I know about it... No, I tried to watch the first episode, but I immediately hated it for some reason, and I don't know why. I also did have a friend who kept trying to tell me to watch it. So it kind of had like that Undertale effect of people trying to tell you to do thing. Really makes you not want to do thing. I did watch Free, though. That one was a goofy one. Free came to mind because that was the one that I thought I was thinking of originally. Loyalty unlocked. Alright, now let's look at our surroundings. There are paintings here, I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. Upon closer inspection, one of them looks like Ulrich. A legendary one. Does Draku not care that paintings of his enemies are out in the open? Yeah, probably. Larg. That's odd, no matter where I go, taverns are all the same. There was Peregrino, Museo, now this. I guess no matter where you are, some things never change. The tavern is open and I can see you back outside. Being connected to the marketplace is a genius idea. People enter and leave like it's a normal part of their day. Nobody wants to talk to me. Okay. Alright, we're outski. Poor Sylvie. He is lost puppy, I think, at this point. Travel to the castle. Onward, Stanley. To the castle. Safe. To enter the castle gates, and we enter the castle gates, and to my surprise, I see trees, like back at home. There's grass, too, almost as green as grass in Valinor. I had no idea how Draku got this here, but it sure wasn't cheap.
Wow, this is incredible. I know you said he was rich, but this is crazy. I've never seen such a fancy place. Not in my entire life.
Dominic steps forward, clearly amazed as well.
So this is where Draku lives. It seems a bit excessive, don't you think? I prefer our tunnels. A lot more secretive.
Alarinthia is all about showcasing your power. Most rulers add a wing or two to the castle during their reign. It's only going to get bigger and bigger with each passing year. Unless, of course, Vivian takes over. He's not fixated on that kind of stuff.
I can't imagine it getting much bigger, to be honest. What does one ruler need to do with all that space?
Well, he has a large army as well, larger than Vivian's. But don't let that sway us. I think you've seen enough to know that this place needs changing.
Right, of course. So what, do we just march right in? I don't see any guards or security.
I look around, and he's right. I see lots of partygoers. They're all sipping on some sort of alcohol, and they look at peace. I suppose this is one way to stop people from fighting back. I notice a large man exit the castle gates and slowly approach us. He's not carrying any weapons, so I doubt he's some sort of security. He looks intimidating, of course, but that's about it. Is it Westy?
I'll take care of this, just like before. We can't risk slipping up in this castle. One misstep, and everyone will be after us.
Oh boy. More Durgs. We all step back, trusting Ulrich's word. He takes a step forward, meeting the mysterious man. It was mystery last time, and now it's mysterious. Something tells me that this is Draku's guard. I just know it.
Westy, I presume. That's an interesting name, you know?
It's a nickname for your information.
You have a snoot.
You must be Ulrich. You sure stand out.
He has a snoot. It's not covered.
Yes. We come in peace, don't worry. We are here for the ball, and Draku. Is it possible to request an audience?
He's a busy man, you know.
So am I, so don't waste our time. Can we have an audience or not?
Why do dragons look so goofy from the front? That looks so silly. Westy sighs and crosses his arms.
Fine. I'll let you in to see him. He's been expecting you, you know. We've been keeping watch since the docks.
Yeah, I know. Same with everybody else.
Just like Vivian's man.
Yeah, but we let him get to you first. It's not often an army comes here from the mainland. We wanted to hear his offer, so we could top it.
It looks so goofy.
And top it. Draku wants our army as well? We're starting to become popular around here.
Don't let that get to your head, Ulrich. You're just as disposable to him as Vivian. You just happen to be both disposable and strong.
You might want to work on your public relations skills.
Look at this ball and then say that to me again.
You're not the one
That's
running it,
right,
dickhead.
You can't. Now let's get going. I'll be inside the gates when you're ready.
This isn't your ball, dummy. He walks away, leaving Ulrich to turn back to us. So it seems like everybody has a use for us in this place. Vivian was probably right. Draku would use us to fight him.
Well, that makes things easier, doesn't it? This is going to go exactly like we expected. Let's just help Vivian and get this over with.
Yeah, no, the face does not match the voice 100%. Also, yeah, I don't think you should see the smile when they're facing front, right? Like, you, like, see it, like, in, like, the middle, but you wouldn't see it on the sides. Because that would be, like, out of, like, your vision cone. There should just be kind of, like, a bridge for the nose, right? Is that how you would depict that? Is that how you depict Snoot?
Draku has a bigger army, but Vivian has a brighter future. And that's what we were fighting for, remember? A better future. It might be a bit harder to win, but we can still do it.
Everybody nods, agreeing on this unanimously. The reason that doesn't look right. It makes sense, since they didn't want to fight Ulrich. But ultimately, the final decision would be upon me.
This seems to be going pretty well. I hope we're not walking into a trap.
Technically, yes. But it's just an art trick to allow something like that to happen on animals with longer faces. You can have derpy results, though. Yeah. You need, yeah, you need something there to signify depth. They did a good job on Sovi. And he has a snoot. I wonder what happened with the dragons. Maybe that's just Westy.
Draco wouldn't try anything during his ball. This is about making the people happy, not scared. Let's hear him out and get this over with for good.
Sure, sounds good to me. On your mark, Monarch.
Get set. Go. We all spread out and start looking around the area. Dominic was right, everything seems to be going so well. We deserve it after what we went through. That's what I think. It's crazy to think that within a few days we'd be attacking Bolteus. We couldn't waste any time, we'd go right after securing this alliance. But I think back to the moment on the ship where I touched the blade. I wanted it to show me our victory, and it showed me nothing. Pushing forward in spite of that was the definition of hope. If there was anything that would help us win this war, it was that hope. We did slowly... No, they used faith as, like, an argument once, and then it went to, Then it went to hope.
What's this place for?
Security normally, but there isn't any during the ball. Anybody is just free to walk inside.
Oh, okay. Is security normally heavy?
Probably.
Yeah, they need to fend off assassins. As a ruler here, you're constantly a target. I can't imagine living in that constant fear.
Wait, what happens if a leader is assassinated? Does the killer become the new ruler of Alarenthia?
Probably not.
No, the killer is usually given the death penalty.
So they're always caught. Whoops. Shit.
No, the killer is usually given the death penalty. And then an open tournament is held to find the strongest man. It's considered cowardly to kill someone when they aren't prepared.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I was kind of wondering.
I'm relating to Valessa.
Vivian could just easily assassinate Draco, right? But now it makes sense why they didn't go that route.
Maybe not easily.
Yeah, it would change nothing. Vivian would still need to fight. He'd stand no chance in an open tournament like that. A Colosseum battle is the only way for him to do this.
Would people respect the change if Vivian won?
They would have to,
or would
right?
they want to fight him in the Colosseum too?
And they'd probably want to fight him for a while. But a ruler can always turn down a challenge. Usually they're arrogant, so they don't do that.
Ah.
And it's not a change they need to respect. No matter what, Vivian is still in charge. He'd likely merge with the new monarchy. And at that point, there's nothing they can do. History's already made, treaty's already signed. That is, if the monarch decides to side with Vivian.
It seems like an easy choice, doesn't it?
I guess we'll see.
How did they get these trees here to live in this weather? They look like the trees back in the mainland, and they don't belong here. Must require tremendous amounts of care to ensure they stay alive. Just a lot of water. If anything, it serves to make me feel less homesick. A part of the mainland is right here with me and my comrades. That puts me at ease, so I choose not to question this further. Oh! As a face, and it is a very shocked face. The gates don't seem to lead directly to the castle. There still seems to be a long way to walk once you enter them. I can see the entrance of the actual castle far down the paved road. It almost seems like an experience to approach the castle. It's a little gaudy, but I guess we have different tastes. I wonder why there are some people partying out here. Are they full inside or something? Or maybe they just wanted to get away from the noise. Either way, this indicated there was a ton of people at the ball. The prince is giving a ball. The castle is massive. I've never seen anything like it. I wonder if this castle will be anything like this. It's crazy to think that each ruler adds more and more onto it. It gives it something like a patchwork look. Every ruler had a different taste and design after all. I can't even imagine the story behind this
Now
castle.
that's something I'd like to climb. Ulrich, what do you think about that?
No.
I'd rather you didn't. They might think you're breaking in. Or even worse, coming to kill Draku.
Oh, maybe I'll ask him first then. Do you think he'd give me permission?
I don't think he's the giving type, Fortin. He'd probably just laugh you away and call you a fool.
Wait, really? Then what about this ball? Isn't he just giving all this stuff away?
Well, yeah, but not for free. It's to win the people over, gain their allegiance. He's not doing it to be generous.
These two
He has a
interact
motive.
so consistently.
True. I'll still give it a shot, though. The worst he can do is say no.
Trust me, he can do far worse than that. Don't ask unless you're ready to handle it.
Their dynamic is really funny to me. I don't know why. My boy, wife in Christ, stop trying to climb. You can't. He is Bun. He must climb. Because that's a thing rabbits do. It's no fun jumping everywhere. You gotta climb. Alright. The main map. Oh, private room, ballroom. Throne room. The throne room is crowded and full of people partying. Normally, I imagine this would be reserved for Draku alone. But right now, open to everybody. Wait, that was not a proper sentence. But right now, open to everybody. It's almost like a big ballroom. Okay, commas. Commas are important. A man sits on the throne, watching the people as if it entertains him. That must be Draku. I scan the room and I notice Vivian in the corner. Since no one knows what he looks like, he must blend in perfectly. He must have snuck ahead of us while we were talking back at the gates. I guess all the pieces were in place. The ball was about to get interesting. I wonder how many people here were part of Vivian's insurrection. Westy stands beside Draku, and I see them whisper to one another. A few moments later, Draku stands up, eyeing me down. Eyeing down me and my comrades. That is technically correct. It just sounds weird. I didn't notice how tall and imposing he was until he stood up, almost a match for Ulrich.
Silence.
Now you see, this snoot looks fine. I was not expecting Fishman. Okay, well maybe... It looks better than Westy, that's for sure. That was not deep. What are you on? His deep voice echoes through the entire throne room, and everybody stops talking. They turn to him as if out of fear, and await his next words. But I know what they'll be. He knows who we are, and with Vivian here, it's likely that he's ready to make a move. I hit the quick save button.
We have those who would disturb the peace among us. Guards, lock the doors. We have some business to take care of.
Yeah, not very deep. He claps his hands once in a commanding gesture. How do you clap with... How is a clap a commanding gesture? Soon after, a group of people close throne room doors. They carry no weapons and are disguised as partygoers.
Now, how should we deal with those who disturb the peace? Watching them starve in the cells doesn't do much for me anymore.
What? The crowd starts shouting a bunch of potential punishments. Draku laughs, clearly enjoying all of the horrible ideas they throw his way.
I say we hear them out and treat them in kind. So tell us, why did you come here today?
I take a step forward in response, but Draku looks the other way. Fixing his view to the corner of the room, I realize he wasn't talking to me.
Vivian.
Everybody looks towards the corner, and Vivian scoffs. Moving forward, he stands in the center of the room.
Draku.
You've got a deeper voice than Draku.
You come here on my day of celebration to challenge me. It is an
No,
insult
maybe
to
not.
both me and all of these proud Alarinthians. Looking deep into our core, you say we're not good enough. We honor the traditions of the ancients, as we should. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. You want to tear us apart. You want to create a nation that's weak, just like the mainland.
No, you've got it all wrong. Lack of strength is not a weakness. The unity of the mainland, their shared ideals, that's true strength. You stand here, alone, victim to your incessant squabbling.
Vivian takes a few steps toward the throne with intense passion. I can tell that this was something he'd really fight with his life for.
We yield to no one while they are docile slaves of the Triumvirate. They crush the mainlanders under their heel, who ask no questions at all. Alarinthia is a free land. We make our own choices, and we hold the power.
Objection. Pro pushes past me. Pro pushes me aside and steps forward, standing beside Vivian. Ulrich reaches out to stop him, but he's not quick enough.
Then help us gain our freedom.
All eyes are diverted our way, and even Vivian seems surprised.
We've come here seeking an alliance. We're not all mindless slaves, you know?
He just got triggered.
An alliance? And what can you offer me? You look as if I could crush you with one hand.
Meep.
I'm stronger than you think. We all are. We grew up alone on the streets of Mazeo. If we weren't strong, we'd be long dead by now.
You? On the streets of Mazeo? My apologies. That is quite respectable. You must be part of the Monarch's crew.
Yes, and we've come to seek your aid. You keep talking about how strong you are, and help us take down those who claim godhood.
Everyone watches in awe as this turns into a standoff.
And what do I get in return?
That's a very good question. Pro steps forward, confidence radiating from the way he moves.
I will be your champion and offer some of our forces. Together we can crush Vivian's pathetic insurrection. Allow us this chance to prove
That's what
our
he was
strength
talking to
as
Pro
worthy
about.
allies.
He kneels down, offering his loyalty to Draco. What was he doing? He's playing right into Draco's hands. Wesley told us that Draco needed our army. He's only playing dumb. Wait, Wesley told us that Draco needed our army. He's only playing dumb. Draco steps down the stairs leading to his throne. He stays far from Vivian and Pro, but they're now level.
What an unconventional turn of events. Vivian, you were seeking a challenge, yes?
Yes, at the break of dawn, I will allow you your final night of revelry.
And who will fight as your champion?
Ulrich, from fuck off long ago.
Ulrich.
He motions back towards Ulrich, who steps forward. Standing beside Vivian, his loyalty and stance is clear.
I see.
Draco eyes Pro up and down.
And what do they call you?
They call me Pro, Your Excellence. It would be my honor to fight with you in the Colosseum. I offer my life and the life of our forces to your cause.
Sorry, you can't do that. I step forward ready to object to these events, but Draco speaks first.
I accept your offer, Pro. Vivian isn't worth using my own men. But you lack the authority to make this pledge.
This is gonna be awkward. He looks straight at me, eyeing the blade on my back.
That decision lies with the Monarch.
Help
me defeat Vivian, and I will offer you my might. Go against me, and I cannot guarantee your survival.
Oh boy, I'm choosing between Ulrich and Pro? That's fucked up. But they were talking, surely they have a plan for them both to not die in this. This is all happening so fast, but I know that's Draco's plan. He wants us to fight his battle for him. I don't even know if he's trustworthy. But Pro, in his haste, put me in the almost impossible position to manage. If I sided with Vivian and Ulrich, we'd have to fight Pro and Draco. Draco would have our forces as backup, while Vivian would have his. This was a fight to the death, so major losses seemed unavoidable. This battle would likely happen regardless of my support, so not picking a side would only harm our cause in the long run. But choosing Pro over Ulrich or vice versa could hurt our bond. I closed my eyes and clenched my fists together. I needed to stop thinking about this so personally. People would die either way. This is war. It is unavoidable. So the real question is, what kind of future do I want for Alarinthia? Do I want Dracu to remain in power, for things to remain unchanged? Or do I want Vivian to overthrow the nation and ally with ally Alarinthia with the mainland? No, I need to detach myself even further. No Pro, no Ulrich, no Dracu, no Vivian. Just Alarinthia, that's all.
Monarch, what is your decree? Fight with me, and prove yourself worthy of my help? Or fight with Vivian, against thousands of years of tradition?
Tradition. I don't actually know what that's from, but I had a teacher in high school, a history teacher, who was quite quirky. One of his favorite things to do was make puns. And whenever he'd make a pun, you would slap your desk with a little badump-ish noise. Another thing that he did was whenever the word tradition was said, everybody would go tradition, tradition. Because I think it's like a musical or something. That was one I didn't understand. Anyway. Consult your advisor. Well, I know what Dominic's going to choose.
Well, our main goal is changing the world, right? We want a better future for everybody, not just us. It stands to reason that we should change Alarinthia. But Vivian can't offer as much power as Dracu can, and for that matter, I don't want Pro or Ulrich to die. This is all so complicated, I'm not sure what to do. Our final attack will be harder if we use Vivian's forces. That is, if Vivian and Ulrich can take down Dracu. He's never lost the Colosseum battle, remember?
So has Dracu, though.
I guess it depends on what we want. An easier time during our assault on Balteus, or a changed Alarinthia at our forces' expense. There's no wrong choice here, Monarch. Take your time and do what your heart tells you. Our end goal and our purpose will remain the same.
Okay. I want Alarinthia to change his ways. I want Alarinthia to stay the same. I think I already saved. Yeah. I mean, this is what I was leaning for the entire time, so... I do wonder what Hal would have said, because he's not, like... I don't see him being attached to either Pro or Ulrich. We want Alarinthia to change. I take a deep breath before announcing my choice. We would help Vivian in exchange for the forces he could offer. We would defeat Dracu and give this nation a new and bright future. But that meant we'd be fighting against Pro in the Colosseum. He so foolishly pledged his support I had no idea how to react. I never expected insubordination and borderline betrayal from this. My man, you have forgotten that Ulrich and Pro were having private talks. Can you not put one and one together? And maybe consider that this is exactly what they were talking about.
Our lives were on the line. I had to make the right choice. I'd rather live with Dracu than sacrifice myself for Vivian. Ulrich has the wrong idea. What he's doing is suicide.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just an act from Pro. And if it's not, then I'm just gonna be confused. Everybody starts to part ways, but the doors remain locked. People try to open them, but Dracu quickly makes them stop.
None of you shall leave. I wouldn't want you running away.
He claps his hands and a bunch of servants approach him.
Private quarters will be arranged for those involved in the fight. Tomorrow morning, you will all be escorted to the Colosseum. For tonight, enjoy the ball. I think you'll find it quite exquisite.
Morale up by 5. I feel like the morale stat is pointless. Because I don't know what... Because it just seems like it just goes up and down as it pleases. After that, everybody goes back to enjoying the festivities. Regardless of our allegiance, we gather up in the center of the room. I never expected that this chain of events would get so complicated. And Draco handled it in such a calm manner, too. It's almost as if he was confident in his ability to win. Uncertainty, confusion, and fright soon filled my mind. He played us. He provoked Pro into pledging his loyalty. At that point, Pro was acting, and I still don't realize this. It was already too late. Pro made up his mind. Unknowingly, we all became pawns in a fight for Alarinthia's future. I should probably roam around the ball until it's time to rest. I could feel out the situation and get feedback from my comrades. That would be key to helping me sort out this ongoing mess in my mind. Oh, I think I know what this one is. Tradition or just something? Please?
Hey, Draco?
Please be what I hope it is.
Yes?
This is a really nice castle you've got here.
Thank you.
I was admiring it from the outside. I noticed it's built in a really interesting way. Pretty bumpy. Lots of places.
Yo,
for
Hoodie, your
footholds.
boy wife is at it again.
Footholds?
Yeah, like places to rest your feet. I was actually going to ask you about that. Was it built that way intentionally? For climbing?
No.
Every ruler adds to this castle in their own way. I've been in power for several decades by now. You're the only one who's ever noticed my addition.
Oh.
You made it that way? Does that mean you like to climb too?
Yes, it does. That's how I start my day. There's no workout quite like it.
Do you use some special equipment? I got some metallic claw-like things in Museo.
Oh, he's gonna...
I have no use for such things. I prefer to go it alone, without safety. It makes you think about every little move. One accident and you fall to your death. You don't need those claws. Just climb smarter. A handicap takes away your sense of achievement.
I think I'll need them, actually. I'm planning to climb the Grand Tree in Valinor. If you saw it, you'd understand the necessity.
The Grand Tree. Does it live up to its namesake?
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it does. It's probably the ultimate challenge. It overlooks the entire world, you know?
Interesting.
Also, high tech.
Very interesting. Perhaps I should
Oh my
pay
God.
Valinor a visit one day. I never thought the mainland could provide me with a challenge.
I can't believe that this is how this went. I get a feeling that this might not be dust after all. Tech, you're just, you're not looking at it through the right lens. This is a visual novel of dust. Kind of. Like, if you squint and, like, turn your head, you can see dust in this. Yeah, right here in the corner, you see?
Oh, it can. Trust me. I've been climbing my entire life. Want to hear about more fun places?
I can spare some time, yeah.
Oh my god. Wish. Oh. Now I'm just imagining that the rest of the night is just those two talking about climbing. The throne sure is impressive. It looks liquid. I wonder what it's like to sit on. After this war, I'll probably find out. Oh, that's the throne, isn't it? Yeah, really nothing else to look at.
Pro, what do you think you're doing? I had a plan, and now you've ruined everything.
Ah.
Sorry, Ulrich. It just made sense. This is a fight to the death, right? Draco has never
I'm
lost.
assuming.
I had to do it.
I'm assuming this is all part of their
I had
plan.
everything under control.
It's not your job to control everything. You need to get that through your thick skull.
You're going to regret this.
Regret? I can live with that. It's better than dying for nothing. Draco has killed stronger men than you. I don't think he's going to lose this battle. That's why I want to be on his good side.
So you're just going to suck up to him? Get out of my sight, Pro. You're pitiful.
Damn. Damn. The dark fidget rises. Hello, Jacob. It's been a while. How are you doing? Also, welcome. Alright, let's talk to everybody. Let's talk to Ulrich last. No, you didn't say hey. Any thoughts on what just went down?
I'm glad you sided with Ulrich and Vivian. It's important to change this nation for the better. I just wish Pro didn't have to open his big mouth. There's a very real chance that he'll die tomorrow. We've seen Ulrich fight. I think he'll win this battle. I just hope it's Draku that falls, not Pro. That sounds like a horrible thing to say, I know. But we've all grown so close since we met at Peregrino. I'm scared this clash of ideals will tear our bonds apart.
You're tearing us apart,
I need to get my mind off that or I'll go crazy. If you need me, I'll be in the ballroom down the hall. I heard they have a live band, and I love music.
Huh. What? Okay. Huh. Hello. What do you think of everything, Hal?
We believe you made the wrong choice, Mark.
Yeah, that's what I
Draco
thought.
has yet to lose any fights in the Colosseum. This fight doesn't appear to be any different. The strength he could have offered was incredible too, but instead you decided to choose the weaker man. Ideals aside, choosing weakness makes no sense. Who cares about a changed Alarinthia if we lose the war? We could give Vivian what he wants, and then march to our deaths. Strength is what wins wars, not the desire for change, and not hope. We will be exploring the castle if you need us. The ballroom is our next stop.
Ah, I see. Everyone's going to the
there.
ballroom.
In the meantime,
What have you been up
enjoy
to
this ball
recently?
as much as you can.
I feel like ever since Hal's conception, he has just hated me. Although, I guess I didn't make the army of tortured souls. That's like the only thing I think he'd agree with.
Hey.
Hey. Your thoughts on what just happened?
I think you sided against me. In the future, I'll remember that.
Yep.
I thought we were friends, you know?
My man.
When the fighting starts, I won't hold back. I just want to be on Draku's good side, you know?
I'm
If he ends
still
up winning,
convinced they're
I
just
still want
playing
to
an
form
act here.
alliance. But if Vivian wins? Well, I don't know. That means either myself or Draku would be dead. I'm not going to think about that. Let's go check out the ball.
Either that, or this is just writing to manufacture cheap drama, and if that's the case, then I'm sad. Alright, Ulrich.
Hey.
What are your... Hey.
I'm grateful for your support. I really am. I've always told you how much I want to change this place, and now I'm getting the chance. This almost feels like a dream. I'm not a fan of what Pro did, though. I hate to say this, but I'm prepared to kill him. If I see an opening, I have to take it, Monarch. I think I need a few drinks after all of this. Truth be told, I'm still a little confused about everything, but I assume that confusion will wane when the battle starts. I'm going to go check out the rest of the castle. I'll see you around. Remember, party responsibly.
Party responsibly. Alright. To the ballroom. Oh, we can actually leave. When I enter the ballroom, I notice my comrades scattered about. They're enjoying themselves and having the time of their lives. Draku spared no expense. This was fancier than anything I've ever seen. There lived a band... There's a live band playing music that's pleasant to hear. Wait, oh, to the ear. Couples sway about on the dance floor, while others feast on a buffet. An open bar attracts many patrons. There's something here, there's something for everyone. There's a little something for everyone. My comrades notice me and give me smiles as they enjoy the party. As I am about to step forward, someone bumps into me from behind. It was clearly on purpose. To grab my attention, I quickly turn around.
I hope you're prepared to fight, Monarch. You'll be among the soldiers during tomorrow's fight. Regardless of your allegiance, I'm excited to see your abilities.
Oh no. Yeah, that is a good way to put that. I mean, there's maybe some truth in that, but yeah. It's kind of two opposites right there.
I would be honored to know that you gave it your all. Either way, I thought it would be best to come meet you here. You're a guest in my castle, not a prisoner, as it may have seemed. It's just tradition for challenges. They're mostly issued.
I just realized this dragon is fluffy.
It ensures that the people involved in the fight can't back out. We take these battles very seriously, as you could tell.
I nod, that much was clear.
I hope we haven't issued any offense.
Ooh. What? Wait, I can just date this man? Hold on. Why can I flirt with him? I was not expecting this. But I'm not going to. Of course not, everything's fine.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for your cooperation. With that said, I have a ball to enjoy.
There's like 2. One of them is in your party, and the other important female is just like there's a choice between 2. Also, yeah, Vivian is a guy, not a girl. So yeah, not really, for equality's sake, it's not really there. He walks into the ballroom and is quickly crowded by people. Greeting every single one, he ensures that they're all happy. He is very charismatic. Everyone painted him as a savage man. I noticed Dominic and Valessa standing off onto the side. They don't seem overly interested in joining the party. I didn't get their input yet, so maybe I should approach them. I take a few steps forward as to not block the entrance of the ballroom. The music gets louder, and the reverberation fills the grand room. The sight and sound combine to make an utterly beautiful experience. I try my best to enjoy this before retiring to my private quarters. When I was ready to sleep, and then fight, that's where I'd go. I couldn't delay it forever, but I could occupy myself for a bit. Oh, we got heart-to-hearts for people. Getting a lot. Oh, Halen. Hello. Yeah, I'm a little bummed about that. Also, yeah, it just seems odd. I think maybe it's because something women in war, because this is like kind of like a relatively war-driven game, and maybe they just didn't want to have like female characters like in there and fighting and dying and so on and so forth. That's like maybe the only reason for it. Or maybe they just like designed the characters. This is also not very straight. Oh, it's not very not. I read that backwards. Is very not straight. That was going to be my next point. Or maybe they had just designed a bunch of characters and then whoops, they're all male. Alright, let's start with Halen. Halen 2. While the bodies swayed on the dance floor, Halen and Shane did a dance of their own. Now you see, I wasn't expecting the side event to reference what's actually happening. Like this. Weapons clashing, they sparred. It was time for Halen to put his new apprentice to the test. Oh! Dickface, not Shane. I don't like Shane. Shane is... Just leave it at that. Soapbox over. So far, it seemed like their skill was equally matched. A deadlock of the best variety.
You put up more of a fight than Sovi ever did. Where did you learn techniques like that, Shane? It almost feels like you're the teacher in this scenario.
No, you just suck, Halen.
Pick up a lot of stuff on the streets of Museo. Back when I was younger, it was either fight or die. A lot of the rebels are just like me, so get used to it.
Let me guess, you all banded together after the occupation. That means if I learn your weakness, I learn theirs. A weak strategy. All sharing the same fighting style?
Well, now I know why you wanted to spar so soon, and here I thought you might be warming up to me.
Yeah, I don't like you,
Don't
Shane.
flatter yourself, Shane.
Then stop giving me reasons to.
Their weapons clash again. Halen's sword against Asshat's daggers. He had no problem dealing with Halen's match with such small weapons. His agility and quick thinking was more than enough to counter her raw strength.
I guess Sovi wasn't much of a fighter.
He used to be, but I could tell he always held back. There was doubt in his mind, and it clouded his judgment. I trusted it would go away, but you know what happened next.
Yeah, and he's paying for his mistakes. But you can trust me, Halen. I won't let you down. Remember what I did when we were in Mazeo.
You killed your former leader, your best friend. I don't need anything else from you, Shane. That proves your loyalty almost tenfold.
Good.
Asshat sheathes his daggers, done with the sparring.
So what do you think Sovi will do next? I mean, he's no longer welcome in Balteus, right?
I saw him wandering the halls before he left. It's funny. He might actually try to seek out the blade. He was saying something about Alarinthia over and over.
From what I understand, this game isn't necessarily a dating sim. It just has romance in it. Which, I mean, I guess that's basically, well... Yeah, no, it's definitely not a dating sim. Because a dating sim, there's, like, kind of more mechanics geared toward actually, like, pursuing one specific person. So, I guess Angels with Scaly Wings probably wouldn't be considered a dating sim either. Well, no, because that one does actually have the mechanics of you choose who you hang out with. I'm just playing through a story and choosing how close I grow to people. Angels with Scaly Wings, for instance, like, I can just completely ignore the entire cast and focus on one person. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that one is a dating sim compared to this one. This one's not. That's also one I want to replay because I think I played like a second pre-alpha version, and the things that I know are apparently just kind of different. And safe, I haven't done that in a while.
What makes him think it'll be in Alarinthia?
Well, the rebellion will try its hardest to survive. After what we did, it makes sense that they'd flee the mainland. They can't come here, so the only other option is Alarinthia.
You choose Aura, right?
Makes sense when you put it that way. Maybe he can regain his honor after all.
Aura is
but
like...
I have to ask, why aren't we going?
Aura is like, the little advice fairy that tells you, like... That gives you your tutorials, so you can't really choose him. There's no, like, route for him. He's kind of been Monica'd. Oh, that was Fidget. No, that's Aura. Although, wait, they both... I mean, they both give tutorials, don't they? Though maybe Fidget more than... Match the buttons! Yeah, no, they both tell you how to play the game, because Aura's like, calm down, don't mash buttons. And Fidget's like, no, mash the buttons. And then Fidget also is just like, if this is all too much for you, just look in the options menu for the how to play. Whatever Dean's coming up with, I hope his tutorials are a bit more integrated and less overt.
The rebellion will come here eventually. We have the home advantage if we sit and wait. There's no way they can overpower our army.
That's smart. So we're really doing this. We're going to end the rebellion.
Rebellion!
And any more that may come. I sense a bright future for us, Shane. And we'll do it all. For the Triumvirate.
Yeah, for the Triumvirate.
I don't like Shane at all. Let's see. I had commissioned art, Oh, if you do exclamation mark P and G, I believe, you can get the artists that I had commissioned originally. And I think that should also give the information on the software I'm using for it. But basically, I had commissioned an artist for a fidget, and then at some point, I did, I just, like, took it into Photoshop and, like, put in a bunch of different mouths, and then put that into the software, and that's why I speak. Okay, that's those two. What are these two up to?
This place is incredible. Draku sure knows how to throw a party. What about you, Ulrich? Having fun?
Draku was my enemy, Valessa. We're practically being held prisoner. Despite that, yeah, I'm having a good time.
He's just reminding you.
I could tell, actually. How many drinks is that? 5? You don't want to fight with a hangover, do you?
It wouldn't be the first time. I've taught myself to fight in any state of being. Just something you learn to do when you're as old as I am.
Can you fight when you're a liquid?
And how old is that?
Old enough. Besides, I doubt I'll have much trouble tomorrow. Even if I fought Draku while drunk, I could take him down. So don't worry about my well-being. I've got this.
You can fight while you're drunk, too?
That's what he said.
Of course. It actually makes things easier. Your movements are sloppy and unpredictable. That's all you need to confuse and overpower your opponent.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's a pretty unique fighting style. You'll be sober tomorrow, though, right?
Depends on how tonight goes. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just go and have a good time, alright?
Alright, if you say so. This is gonna be super interesting. 2 undefeated men locked in combat.
Yeah, Ulrich is the...
Yeah.
He's
I'll make sure
resident
to put on a
drunk,
good show for
basically.
you. It's like a sport. Everybody will be watching intently. You better cheer for me. I'll be listening, Valessa.
He's... or you should say he is resident high-functioning alcoholic.
Sure.
Damn. What about Pro? Alright. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting one. What do you have to say?
Pro, are you having a good time?
Of course. All according to plan. I know Ulrich is mad, but he'll get over it. We can win this without either of us dying.
Yeah, just take out the leader, right? Ulrich is stubborn, though, so be careful. I think he might actually try to kill you.
I've been watching him spar for years. I'll be fine. I know exactly how he operates. The best weapon is knowledge, right?
Functioning alcoholic is lame.
You remembered my lessons.
How could I forget? It'll help me win this battle. I know it. Make sure to cheer me on, alright?
I think I'd like to remain silent, actually. I can't be taking sides at a time like this. As long as we get an alliance, I'm happy.
Damn.
Oh, come on. Not even gonna clap for me. I'll remember that when you give another speech.
Oh, no.
I think my days of giving speeches are over, Pro. That honor belongs to the monarch now. But I'm sure they'd say the same as me.
Man, I hate how neutral everybody is acting. Sometimes it's alright to take a side.
Well, it's not that I'm not taking a side. It's more like, I shouldn't gossip to you. You're a combatant. It'd affect your morale.
You see, Crafty, we're just discussing about how Ulrich is a high-functioning alcoholic. And he's about to go into battle drunk or not. It was kind of up in the air. Also, hey, hello. How you doing? I feel like a war where everybody is drunk would just be a bar fight, right? He also did mention that he has mastered fighting in every state of being, so he's a master hungover fighter as well as drunken fighter, apparently.
What an interesting way to tell me that you side with Ulrich. Sometimes not saying something tells me all I need to hear.
Now you're just putting words in my mouth. The only person I tell is the monarch.
Interesting.
What?
You're not the first person to unconditionally trust the monarch. Perhaps I could use that to my advantage in the future.
I think this is where I get back to the party. This whole scheming business isn't really for me, but I doubt the monarch would abuse their role for you.
You're probably right, Domek. They'd have to do it without knowing. Just imagine the swindling I could do.
No. Wouldn't that be Now you see, Tack, you say that as a joke, but maybe that's actually what Ulrich is. Maybe he's already dead. Because he did apparently survive 6 days in the desert without any food or water, or something. So maybe he died out there and was brought back to life. So maybe he has mastered being dead. And in another timeline, that is also how the war would play out. Because one of the options earlier was, do you have an army of future seers, or do you have an army of all the dead people that just died? Also required food or water intake of whatever animal he's supposed to be. I think he's some form of canine, but it's also a desert, so I think that would at least change the water intake. I'm not really sure how... I'm not sure what kind of animals can go long... Land animals that can go long periods without water, but I don't know. Now you see, Tack, I know why you said that. Because you knew it would remind me of that song by the Beatles.
Do we know how to throw parties or what?
Do not care.
What do you mean by we?
Our people, like the pure ones. We're different civilizations, remember? Did the old monarchy party like this?
This line of questioning is pointless. Why do you wish to know such trivial information?
Look at those
It's what
muscles.
friends do, Hal. Haven't you ever heard of hanging out? You just talk to each other about everything.
I refer to what Hoodie said earlier.
The old monarchy did party. And to be honest, there isn't much difference. Do you see this as a sort of competition?
Not exactly. Well, maybe? It's always cool to know you have the most fun. Do you not compare yourself to other people?
No.
That would be a waste of time.
Bruh, you compared your
There
ships
is no
earlier.
benefit in being like other people. We simply wish to be ourselves. Unique.
See?
Aw.
This is what friends do. They just talk. Keep going, Hal. Tell me what's on your mind. You don't need a specific topic or anything.
We would ask, why you consider us a friend? Does the world benefit from this conversation? Is there a purpose to this sort of interaction?
Yeah, I'm watching it and enjoying
Perhaps
it.
we should talk about the matter at hand. There is much to discuss about Vivian and Draku.
Nope, we can't talk about that. That's work stuff. We're here to unwind.
Another concept we do not understand. Every moment we waste, the enemy gets stronger.
It's not a waste, though. If our bond grows stronger, then so do we. It's important to get along with your comrades, Hal.
That's the power of bonds.
Very well. We will try. This party is an interesting experience. Are you having a good time, Fortame?
What was the... I'm fairly certain it was an anime where, like, the power of bonds is, like... what won the show. Is it Soul Eater I'm thinking of? Or is that... No, that was Friendship Punch. Oh, yeah, you're 100%... How... Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. I'm still currently watching it. Well, I guess it's because they haven't been talking about their bonds recently. Also, yeah, that's an accurate statement. Power of friendship, power of bonds. Potato, potato. It's outside of just... Yes, it does. Though the memes of it are pretty good. Yeah, no, like... I was watching the anime. Like, the actual version that has guns and such. And I thought that 4Kids censored their little friendship circle to a smiley face or for whatever reason. No, it's still a smiley face. Through the show, meme. Oh my god, you just brought back all those little memes. Screw the rules, I have money. Screw the ninja rules, I have lung cancer. Ah, yes, the internet was a different time.
There we go. Now you're doing it right. Just a few more steps and you'll be ready to dance.
No.
We would rather die.
I'm glad that that's the note that just ended on. Oh, Dark Yu-Gi-Oh! Read the manga. Right. Alright, heart to hearts. Let's see if Valessa is still having a conniption. I see. I also, at some point, I did find, I think, 2 of the original episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! The one where he lights the guy on fire to death, and then the one where he sends another man off of a building. Yeah. And apparently that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, the card game that we know today was actually like a part of it, but it was a small part. And so, of course, when they wanted to kidify it, that was the part they focused on. At least that's what I've heard. I approach Valessa and watch her inspect the buffet table. It looks like she's having a hard time deciding what to eat, as I feel it's all free though, so I'd have some of everything.
Why do they need to put alcohol in everything? These pastries would be fine on their own, you know. Just because you
is
can
everything
doesn't mean
labeled?
you should.
She fills a plate with a few random sweets. It appears they're all alcoholic in nature. That sounds fancy, but they're all just doused.
The locals are sure eating this stuff up, though. Call me old-fashioned, but food and drink should stay separate. If this is a delicacy around here, then Alarenthia isn't really my place.
Are you saying you won't do Jello shots? Was 2 battles, and the rules weren't solidified. The only reason why the rules were made was because of fan demand. Oh, I see. Well, you see, I don't know if that's true or not, Tack, but people have said chocolate is, toxic to dogs. And my dumbass dog went and ate an entire bowl of Hershey Kisses and Reese Cups and was fine. The only side effect was her poop was foily for, like, a week. Like, we made the mistake of having like a dish of Halloween candy. I think that was when it was. It might have been around Christmas. Like, it was like on a coffee table, and we didn't think anything about it until like, oh hey, why is this empty? And then we realized exactly what happened. I had a lab that almost died from eating a couple of chocolate bars once. Maybe my dog's just built different. She smiles as she continues filling her plate.
But you gotta eat, right? This isn't the kind of place you want to go hungry. I never thought I'd miss some of the food back in Valinor.
I think our working theory. Oh god. I just remembered all the other shit she has eaten. Yeah, no, my dog is definitely built different. And probably not in a... Well, I guess it is a good way considering her behavior. I don't remember what I was going to say. Incorrectly. Oh yeah, our working theory was the foil protected her from the chocolate the effects of chocolate. Though from what I understand, it's not necessarily toxic, is that they like can't digest it or something. I mean, I could be wrong, I'm not too knowledgeable on it. I mean, chocolate is toxic. Oh, so it is actually just poison then. I'm supposed to be sick. Yeah, so my dog, on numerous occasions in her later years, It's toxic. They metabolize it slower. Okay, so I was partially correct about the digestion then. I don't know. There's a few things that can make it worse. Or not as bad. Yeah, but my dog also went and ate, like, several towels and some tube
But
socks.
enough about that. Are you having a good time, Monarch? Aside from the whole Coliseum business, of course.
Aww. Oh, it's such a cheesy line. She's eaten tube socks and towels and blankets and has had surgery 3 times to have it removed. Because she's so smart. It's, like, frustrating because, like, she did it the first time. It's like, okay, what's wrong with our dog? Why is she doing this? We chalked it up to its separation anxiety. Because she, you know, dogs are kind of like that sometimes. And my sister would work, like, multiple nights. Like, my sister, no, because it was going on a lot longer. Yeah, separation anxiety from my sister. And my sister would go and work a bunch of nights in a row, so, like, she wouldn't see her, and maybe she's getting older, more... whatever. And that's why she would just, like, kind of lash out by, like, stress eating or something. Or more toxic. Apparently it's allergic to everything in the world that exists. Huh. But long story short, we would do our best to keep up every possible scrap of cloth that was in her sight, or that was, like, within her range after, like, the first incident. And pretty much every time we'd slip up, she would eat something. And it was just like, God damn it, stop! And it was very taxing. Which, I mean, I don't know if she would still do that now. She is still alive. She's just extremely grumpy now. And yeah, the surgery. He was, like, dying or something after surgery, so they had him allergy tested and apparently just allergic to everything that can exist in contact with a dog. Yeah. That is an unfortunate, set of stats to be rolling for a dog. I kind of want to flirt with Valessa because I kind of want to flirt with her. But we'll say hi. We'll just say yeah.
That's for sure. Everybody seems so happy. It almost makes you forget where we are. I never pictured Alarenthia as peaceful.
I mean, if one. It's okay, I've actually got a... So, in this game, there is, like, a corruption and purity system. Currently I have 2 alternate saves. One that is purely corrupt, and one that needs a little bit of catching up. That is going to be purely pure. On the corrupt one, I'm dating the bunny. And on the pure one, I'm dating Valessa. That's just because that's just what I decided. On this one, I'm aiming for Dominic. Which is why I'm not flirting with her. Because I'm flirting with him. Because he's too goddamn cute when he blushes. She smiles softly while eating the pastries on her plate. It isn't much longer until they're all gone. She must have been starving. I don't blame her. The journey was taxing in every possible way.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I talked to Alex a little more on the way here. You know, to learn a little bit more about
Foxy.
her parents.
Yeah, so, Alex is a pirate. There was another pirate. This was the other female character. Their name was Nada. Alex is aggressively red. He's also Foxy from FNAF.
Part of me was hoping to hear something positive. You know, like they were paragons of virtue or something.
Also,
Or
our parents
maybe,
were pirates.
Maybe they were good people.
Why are you reflecting this, Tack? Are you worried about the color red? As she talks, the live band starts to play a bit louder. People flood the dance floor with their partners. Like, two different words went through my head when I read this line. One of which was pants, and the other one was parents, and I just said the one that was less worse, but still wrong. Valessa watches all of the couples with a wide smile. She places her empty plate back on the table.
Sorry, the music kind of cut me off. Right.
Oh.
I was talking about our parents. I learned so much about them on the trip here.
You'll have your time later, Valessa. Tell me everything, I'd love to hear. She nods and smiles.
Just a quick warning, it's not the best atmosphere for this story.
Roxy.
I mean,
She's just
talking about
doing
pirates
that.
doesn't exactly fill one with joy, but I think it's important to know more about our families. Like I said, I was hoping to hear some good news. I always pictured our parents as these perfect, heroic people. But it turns out they really weren't. They were bad people, Monarch.
I was about to take a drink of water there, Tack. That could have been tragic.
I know pirates get involved in shady things, but they embraced it. Killing, stealing, smuggling, you name it. They were legends in Mazeo. They had a whole network operating for them while they were back home. That's how they managed to have a presence in both nations at once. They went to Mazeo every month or so to inspect their operations in person. Explains how they managed to raise us and balance their double lives.
Yeah, they
Maybe
just
it's for the
disappeared
best
for
that they
a little
passed
while
on
at
when
a
they
time.
did. The village and Salus raised us. They gave us our sense of morals. I can't say I'd be too happy if I inherited the morals of our parents. They could have dragged us
But
into
you
the
would have
life of
inherited them,
piracy
so you
as we
wouldn't have
grew
known
up,
any
too.
better.
That would be dangerous. We could have died years ago, you know? If you died, then right now, the world would have no hope at all. So, maybe the occupation was meant to happen. It's guided us to where we are now. Shaped us into who we've become. If we let
Molded
them
by
shape
it.
us, then I have no idea where we'd be right now.
Something, they probably wouldn't want their children to be like them in that regard, if they're, like, criminals and such. Also, I just realized she's missing, like, muscle definition on this side of her arm, or on this arm.
It's so weird, since children usually aspire to be like their parents. But right now, I'm using them as a roadmap on what not to do. All I can do is dedicate my life to being better people than them.
I'm going to go with yes, but I don't know. I'm assuming there is, but I don't know. Maybe this is first playthrough, so...
Maybe that can undo some of the damage they've done.
I'm also
Because
assuming it's
I
like
know
an
they
ending where
tore
you
our
hate
families apart.
everybody.
They killed and robbed. Some would say that, in the end, being murdered was their justice.
I'm guessing because there's, like, this kind of system that there's probably, like, at least 3 endings. Just because, like, you have, like, a purity and corruption ending, and then you have probably, like, a mix ending, which is probably what you'd get, like, the first time through.
But I don't think death is a good form of justice. They should have gotten a chance to make up for their crimes. With them gone, I feel like it's our job to do what they couldn't. So,
Right, the
that's
sins
something
of
else
the
I'm going to
past.
fight for. I'll make up for the damage our parents inflicted. I'll give the world peace, so no one has to feel pain. We'll make a world that doesn't need people like our parents. A world that treats everyone with unconditional love and equality. No one will have to live in poverty or turn to a life of crime. Nobody deserves to be a victim of circumstance. To have their life determined by the world around them? No, it's not it at all. We shape the world, not the other way around.
She looks in my eyes with overwhelming determination.
So let's shape it into something beautiful.
And then looks away.
A place where no one has to resort to being evil. I'm sure our parents were introduced to it somehow. It's not like they woke up one day just wanting to be pirates. Maybe it was their parents before them, or some close friends. I guess it doesn't matter, does it? We'll make the cycle end with us.
What was that cat image that I think I sent you at some point? Where it was like... What do you want to do today? Murder. Like, no murder, something else. And it's like, violence. No, violence isn't murder. It's like, well, violence has unlimited options. And it was the black cat, of course.
One of peace, happiness, and prosperity. One where our children can live full, happy lives.
Our children. Music slowly comes to an end and everybody leaves the dance floor. Alessa watches for a while before speaking again, enjoying the moment.
When we get back to Museo, I want to see their old hideout. And I'd really like it if you'd come with me, Monarch.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'll give me a sense of closure. And let me move on. I never thought I'd learn more about our parents in this journey. And I'm even more surprised that it's a truth I never expected. But if I could go back and never learn it, well, I wouldn't.
There you go.
It gives me the drive to become a better person. And it really makes me appreciate everything I have. Including you, Monarch. I could never do this alone.
Aww. He smiles and examines the room.
I'll let you go and tend to some business, Monarch. I should probably talk to Fortum about this stuff, too. He deserves to know about his parents just as much as us.
I nod and watch her as she slowly walks away. Only she could turn the horrible truth into such a contagious optimism. Optimism. But she was right. We'd create a better world, where no one had to be hurt. Valessa's loyalty scene has been unlocked. The dance floor is full of people swaying from side to side. Watching them celebrate with big smiles helps me relax. Even in this awful time, there can still be happiness. Yeah. Anything else to examine? Okay. I'm going to talk to my interest at the game. My cursor is now changed. Okay. Heart to heart number 4 with Domik. I walk over to Domik. He's standing alone in the corner of the ballroom. Oh my god, he was a wallflower. I feel that though. That was me at school functions. He looks a bit awkward, like he knows he doesn't fit in, but I don't blame him. I am... Okay. Okay, game. I feel like I'm being targeted. With the story he told me last time, I knew a crowded ballroom floor would frighten him.
Hey there, Monarch. I hope you're having a good time. I mean, given the circumstances, of course.
Man, school dances. I think I made them... No, wait, no, because I did. Invented to destroy self. You just let they don't know me. Oh my god. That's the one where it's just like, the person in the corner is just like, I have 7 bodies in the basement, they don't know me. And there's just like other people just milling about, going about their business. I mean, it's like any kind of like, it could like literally be anything. I was just 7 bodies in the basement was like the first one that I thought of. But it's like, I'm the creator of Minecraft and they don't know me. At least that's what I'm assuming you're talking about, Hoodie. I don't know. Yeah, that would work too.
I can imagine it's hard to have fun when you know what's coming. Actually, forget I said that. I don't want to ruin your experience. I'm just airing my own grievances. Forgive my venting.
Mine always did, and that paying to go to school to hang out with people I saw every day where it was close seemed like a waste of money. Yeah, no, there was always like admission to school dances. I guess it's just an excuse to hang out with the people you see every day in a more relaxed venue, as opposed to, you know, you can't like faff about and just do well, I mean, you can't do stupid shit at the school function, but like, there's less rules restricting you. You can just whip out your phone. I tell him it's fine, and then stand beside him. Together, we watch the patrons dance in the center of the room. They look like they're having the time of their lives while we just stand here.
You know, I've been thinking. I faced death back in Mazeo, and I'll face it tomorrow. After that, I'll just go on to face it again when we attack Balteus. I could die tomorrow, or the next day, or the day after. So I keep asking myself, what should I do before I die? A lot comes to mind, but a few are very important to me.
Aww. It consists of like 3 required classes and a lot of downtime. Oh. I would want to say... I don't think they were $15, were they? I'd want to say for like high school, the homecoming dances and prom, I would say there was like 10 to 15 bucks for a ticket. That sounds correct, but I don't remember. And prom might have been, yeah, prom might have been a bit more expensive. So did you not have to pay for school functions? Were they free of charge for you?
I want to go back to where it happened, Monarch. Back to the place where I spent the last moments with my mother. I've never been back there since I grabbed that pendant. I was scared. Just thinking about that place made it seem like it was happening all over again. I can't even imagine what would happen if I went back there for real, you know? It's easy to avoid since the town square is quite large, but I'm done avoiding things. I could have died back in those tunnels, Monarch. Something like that really puts things into perspective. If I die, I want to make sure I've lived life to the fullest.
Under private school with no dancing, thank goodness. Huh, interesting. Because I went to a private elementary school and middle school, and we still had school dances. And that one, they were still awkward as hell. But it's definitely significantly less awkward if you have, like, friends to go with, but... Also, that just reminded me, private school gym class. I mean, I think this was maybe a universal thing, but, like, for whatever reason, gym class in January was just dance month. So you just do the electric slide for gym, basically. You see, Tech, I did the cool thing, for high school at least, and did summer gym, which is just 2 weeks of gym. So I just got it out really quick. And it was fun because, one, it was, like, when it's not cold. And two, on, like, a couple of days, there's, like, field trips where you'd go, like, hiking or go do laser tag and other things. Online PE. You have to have a webcam, you just have to, like, do calisthenics in your room while they watch. That, oh god, that's, oh no. No, that sounds awful. That just sounds so creepy. Just recording a bunch of teens doing jumping jacks or push-ups, like, no. Online PE sounds like a really bad idea. I was just making it up on, like, I was just, like, trying to conceive of what online PE would be, and that's, like, the only thing that could come to mind. It's just like, well, you kind of have to prove you're doing the physical activity, right? So, like... Wait, yeah, so wait, hold on, Tack. What is online PE? Like 3 classes and 2 years worth of PE in 1 semester. He's like, I walked for 45 minutes. Nice. I did 1,000 crunches today. I don't believe you.
So that means there's a few things I'd like to do. Most importantly, I'd like to go back to where I lost my mother. I don't want that place to hold power over me. I want the power. You already know about some of my other fears too. but it'd be ill-mannered of me to request your help for those. So, about Museo, I'd just like a good friend to be by my side.
He blushes and shuffles in place. It was clear that he meant his fear of physical contact. I could help him with this Museo trip, but I stopped to think about the rest.
Can you say something, Monarch? I don't know if I can handle such an awkward silence.
Don't worry, I can help put all of your fears to rest.
All of them? Then that means... You know what? I'll let you take the lead on that one. We're a long way from Museo after all. I can be patient.
He smiles, almost like a weight was lifted from his shoulders. It would be important for him to enter the final battle with a clear mind. When we got back to the mainland, there was no reason not to help him.
Well, that's pretty much all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing, unless there's anything else you had to say before you go?
Not really, have a wonderful evening. Would you consider being my date for the evening?
Oh, really? Did my talk about seizing the day inspire you? I mean, I guess I could keep you company. I don't have any other plans. And just in case it goes badly tomorrow, you deserve a really good night.
He smiles and we walk around the ballroom together. We stop at the buffet table and inspect our potential options.
Alorinthian pastries? Are these any good? If you're seizing the day, then I guess I should too.
Oh right, he doesn't drink, does he? He grabs one of them and starts to eat it. After a few bites, he starts to cough and his eyes open wide. He wipes away crumbs that fall on his attire and blushes, embarrassed.
Of course they're infused with alcohol. Somehow. Everything in this nation has some sort of a twist to it. You can never just get what you want in Alarinthia.
Would you cry? Why didn't you send me Neko Arctac?
Well, unless of course I'm talking about you. A fine place to have our first date, despite the circumstances. When you forget about the Colosseum nonsense, this isn't too bad. If things go well, then maybe we can come back next year. People do that stuff, right? I mean, celebrate anniversaries. When you take the throne, you can travel wherever you want. And I'd be honored if you let me stand by your side. You know, I was always too scared to flirt or bond with anybody. But I guess a changed perspective is one benefit of a near-death experience. If you could even call it near. I'm pretty sure I did die.
Yeah, you were dead as fuck
and
for
if
a
you
little
want to
while.
know what scared me the most, nothing happened. When I was younger, they said I'd see my mother again in the afterlife.
You weren't dead long enough, or something, I don't know. I was looking for a file to send to someone for randomizer things, and I saw that I still had that image saved.
That's kind of what kept me going. That thought made me happy. In fact, I even smiled in my final moments. I'd finally see her again. The world is a cruel place, though. And of course, nothing happened. Until I opened my eyes again and saw you and Howl. That changed something inside of me. My priorities shifted. The thought of seeing my mother again had completely disappeared. If I chased the future, I'd never enjoy the present. That's part of why I agreed to join you on this date, actually. I just wish I was able to realize this sooner, before the attack.
When you knew I hit my glass, if I keep dying, what? There is a bomb mail pipe in your box. What is that supposed to mean, Tack? Yes.
The monarchy saved me by using their powers to heal me. I'll never waste the second chance they gave me. Never.
Why?
I'll embrace it and savor every moment until the end.
Told you he was quite the cutie when he's blushing. Why do you just have Neko Arc saved? You see, when I, like, share memes, I delete them immediately. And they're just there. Or they're ephemeral. We continue chatting and spending time with one another. The events in the Rebel HQ definitely made him a changed man, and it was a good change, too. He's seizing the day, as it were. When we return to Museo, I'd take him back to that fateful spot. But with me by his side, I think he'd be able to overcome his past. That thing of me. Fills in the previous. Ah, I see, I see. Wait. He doesn't have Neko Arc saved. Wait. Mementos? Well, you see, my mementos are, like, low-key kind of just saved on my server because it's relatively inactive. So it's also kind of like a personal meme dump for me to, like, go back and grab things from. One of my favorite ones to go back and grab is Heal Thy Burgers. It's that cat that's, like, making that one, like, face, and then the woman, like, aggressively pointing at it, yelling at it, and it's just, like, I think it's, like, a sign that says, like, I initially read it as Heal Thy Burgers. It's supposed to be healthy burgers, but the way they cut it up is Heal Thy Burgers. Yeah, that one. That was one of those that I go back and grab every meow and then. New happy future together. Oh shit. I think I just skipped something. It feels happened in the future. Oh. We're gonna and when that happened, we'd build a new happy future. Together. Loyalty scene unlocked. Act 4. Okay, that's all of that done. I'm already did. Alright, save. And private rooms. You enjoy the game. No hanky panky now. Yeah, I know. Twitch won't allow it. Also, I don't think that that's like an issue in this game, but yeah. Thanks for hanging out, though. You have a wonderful rest of your night. You'll be doomed. That just looks like a YouTube thumbnail. Why is Neko Arc? I've seen that one before, Hoodie. Yeah. I always have... The one I always have saved on my phone is this one. Of course it's horses. Free 2 beautiful horses needing homes as soon as possible. Deceased owner, and they have until the 15th to be moved or they will be destroyed. What? Why do you have that on your phone? Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got the square foot of bun. Oh wait, here, I can send you this one. There you go. No idea, but it just works. It's just worded so. Also, apologies for that one. You've now been cursed. Also, this. Also, oh, this is also. Oh. This is also one that I have saved on my phone. Content warning. That was classic. Oh wait, I know that. I know this tweet tag because I follow this person on Twitter. This was when Twitter first introduced their censor things. And so many people did that. Someone sent it to me. Ah. Oh, you see, Hoodie, I've seen the opposite of this video, where it's just like, stop normalizing this, normalize the grind. Don't use Twitter at all. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, it's just there for funny arts. Sigma Cat grind set. As soon as I get to my private quarters, I rest the blade beside the bed. It feels good to get that weight off my shoulders. Too bad the relief would be ephemeral. I sit down in the bed. You sit on a bed, not in it. And think about what would be coming in the next few days. A tournament to decide the fate of Alarinthia, an alliance to help us attack Balteus. Not even a day or two. After the Colosseum battle, would we be sailing into the final battle? Would we win, or would we perish? The blade showed me nothing when I asked. I sit down on the bed and decide not to try using the blade again. A lot of ones say it just because they're weird. I've picked up a couple of weird ones from the Kingdom Hearts. I picked up a couple of weird Kingdom Hearts ones. Oh wait, no, that was from the Kingdom Hearts Discord though. I shared them in your server though. Huh? Mike's hard beef stew. What? Yeah, I see what you mean by weird. This isn't a meme, but these exist. No, I'm going... Nah, let's not. I mean, it's just memes, but still, I'm not gonna do that. I'm high, I made this hamburger helper with no milk. This shit tastes like cargo pants. Well, you know, I've seen that one before. Yeah, those are legitimate magic cards that they actually printed. That's why that one's just weird. There you go. If you hard, then you hard. Oh, you don't have the full image of that. Oh, you're missing part of that meme, Tack. It's supposed to have Yugi there as well, and there's a sign that's like... It's like the Heal Thy Burgers. Oh, no, it was specifically cropped? Oh, I see. But I think that one just makes it better, because I mean, I guess maybe I just like the ones where it's just reading... Or things being laid out poorly are funny to me. If you hard, then you hard. Your weekend. For Food and Beer, Sonic Adventure 2, and Coda. This one's just cute. Also telekinesis and telekinephews. If you hard, then you hard. Hmm. There is... Wait, was that the... No, it's not. There's one... I just read a joke about Oedipus and Midas. It was motherfucking gold. Where's the one that I'm looking for? Not that. I'm only going to send one more. Those are also very good. Wrong. Don't be burger-shaped, idiot. I'm just going through some of the save files. I'm looking for something. There it is. But he's laughing at all of my jokes. Why is Yuri and Garfield reading a book together? Lo-fi nuclear winter to relax. No, lo-fi nuclear war to relax and study to. Okay, enough memes. The anxiety of not being able to know almost wasn't worth it. It was supposed to do what I wanted. Was I not strong enough? The blade was so mysterious, I'd probably never know. I lay down, having had enough of today's events. Things were crazy. Just when I get to relax, we're pushed into more conflict. But this conflict has clearly proven divisive among our team. I'm done. Alright, look at the last one. Oh god. Stupid feet, you're not presentable. Not one bit. Now I want to send you an owl meme that I have. Because owls are kind of funny. Oh god, I forgot about that. Oh god, I forgot about that. Or brubrush. Anything but the correct spelling. It's like bnyoy. Bunnies don't exist, only bnyoys. Or bnyes. Hey, this might be harder to find than I thought it was. Oh god, this is gonna be really far up. Yo, it's the homophobia. I give up the search, but here, I'll curse you with this. Just because I know it's like really far away from where I was looking. Our team Pro and Ulrich against each other, Vivian and Draku too. Perhaps this is a lesson that that casualties are unavoidable. I close my eyes and hold on to a firm resolve in my heart. No, none of my comrades would die tomorrow. They'd survive. We were all survivors, and that's what we'd continue to do, forever. Until we died of natural causes. Instead of falling asleep, however, I find myself someplace familiar. It is the same locale I found myself after falling asleep in Peregrino. This wasn't just some random dream. I had to be here for a purpose. All I knew is that this was the Triumvirate Chambers. And there was no doubt in my mind. But why was I here? Not only once, but twice. There needed to be a reason. The blade weighs heavy on my back, and I slowly pull it out. I can sense it's pulsating with energy, reacting to something. I noticed the idol in the back of their chambers. That's what it was. But why is a blade reacting to something like that? It doesn't look like any spirit idol I've ever seen. What is it? I feel a strong pull, almost like I have no choice but to approach it. There you go. I take slow, heavy steps toward the idol. I feel eyes upon me. Not just one or two pairs, almost like all of Alestia is watching me. I can sense my comrades at my back, almost as if they're encouraging me. It helps me push forward as I feel resistance emanate from the idol. Why would I feel such a strong pull to something that doesn't want me? I push through in spite of that resistance and continue to act instinctually.
Yes, fulfill your purpose. Do what you were meant to do.
I'm gonna wipe you out. That's the Triumvirate's voice. I remember from the last time I was here, but I have no idea what they meant by my purpose. Still, I can't deny my instinct, and I keep pressing forward. It isn't much longer before I'm standing in front of the idol. It radiates pure malice and pure evil. It fills me with fright. I look down at my blade. Was I meant to destroy this? I'm confused as to why I'm doing what the Triumvirate tells me to. It's that conflict that causes this dream to end and jolt me awake. I rise up in fright, gripping my chest and panting heavily. I look over at the blade resting on my bedside. What happened? It feels as if no time has passed at all, but is already the next morning. Just what I needed. No rest before a massive battle. The fates were playing cruel tricks on me during this journey. But I had to keep going. I couldn't give in. It would be over soon. I stand up and strap the blade to my back. As if on cue, I hear a knock at the door before it's opened. Draku steps in, not seeming to care if I was receptive of him.
It's your turn, Monarch.
Thank you for calling me Monarch. You accepted that very easily. My turn.
We're transporting you to the Colosseum one by one. That way you're less inclined to try and escape us. You'll be the last one, so it's almost time to fight.
How nice. They let me sleep in the longest. I know, it all makes sense.
I'd advise not wasting much time, but head to the Colosseum when you're ready. You'll be followed by myself and a few guards. Oh, and good luck. You'll need it. The entire nation will be watching and cheering. But whether it's for your victory or demise remains to be seen.
He rests his back against the wall and crosses his arms. This really is happening, a battle to decide on the nation's fate. I guess I'd head to the Colosseum when I was ready to fight. That means I can find the one book that's right here. Book rests on the nightstand and appears to be about the Colosseum battles. Not regular ones, though. The leadership ones. The kind of battle I'd be fighting in today. I wonder if it was placed here on purpose. We did play into Draku's hands after all.
The evolution of tournaments. Initially, rulers of Alarinthia were decided during a simple one-on-one battle, but citizens quickly realized that this was not the best way to gauge a potential ruler's true strength.
Furry or
They needed to add more. This is when the champion system came into play. Each fighter would elect a champion to fight by their side. This would not only test their offensive powers,
I'll
but
answer
show
that
how they
after
handle
this.
defensive maneuvers as well. They'd have to fight their enemy and their enemy's champion while also protecting themselves and their champion. This made battles much more fun. Later on, the reserve forces came into play. Each leader would bring a force of about 20 or 30 men into battle with them. This was to make sure they knew how to lead an army efficiently as well. What started out as simple fights to the death have evolved into a full-on sport. Leaders must display their ability to fight, to defend, and to command an army. This ensures that Alarinthia is always in the best possible hands. Only the most competent warriors can win.
So the whole what is the main character thing, I basically have been operating under the assumption that you are a furry character, and so by extension my headcanon has been it's just my OC that I've been playing as in these circumstances. Which is kind of funny because they're a dragon, and apparently only dragons live in this deserty area. At least as far as I've seen. This has been the only place that has had scaly boys and girls. So it's not explicitly stated what you are. But I presume you... Like, since there's nothing that would indicate being human, I would assume you're just another animal, anthropomorphic animal. Heat pours in through the windows and makes it almost unbearable. It wasn't too bad last night, but it's now morning and I can feel the extreme heat. I'm glad that we won't be in this nation for much longer. I could never handle it. These look comfortable, but unfortunately I have no time to waste. I need to get to the Colosseum as soon as possible for the tournament. I'd go back to bed if it weren't so hot in this room. Oh, and I guess I have a tournament to fight in. Now they're having fun. Okay. Save. And do I exit? Ah, there it is. Colosseum. Also, there was no... No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. Alright, outside. I make my way to the Colosseum alongside Draku and some of his soldiers. It's massive. It's a massive, towering structure, almost putting the castle to shame. It makes sense that it'd be bigger. Alarinthia was all about fighting.
Well, here we are. If you head on inside, you'll find your allies. After that, you'll all be escorted to a private room. You'll have a few moments to prepare once you're in there, but I'd say within the next hour or two, the battle will be over. They don't last very long if both sides have prepared enough.
And he crosses his arms and looks at me dismissively.
You may wonder why I'm doing this, even though you sided against me. The answer to that is, it's in my nature to show my enemies some kindness. I do not kill in cold blood. I will mourn you and honor your memory, Monarch. It is a noble thing to die for your beliefs.
Hey, that's
Perhaps
what,
your memory will
Dominic
inspire
said.
future generations. Generations that can go on to be killed, just like you.
He steps forward, looking me dead in the eye.
I do not expect to lose to Vivian. I've killed far stronger men than him. Some would call you foolish for your choice.
With a smile, he lets out a soft laugh.
But I am not one of those people. As I said, I treat my enemies with kindness. You may have realized it, but that's why I held the ball. But the ball is over, so I must find another way to be kind. And that is showing you a swift, painless end in the Colosseum. You wish to die for your beliefs. It would be my honor to aid you.
This man is huffing some strong copium. After saying these harsh words, he enters the Colosseum. I have no choice but to follow him as the guards block any avenue of escape. Wow. You were thinking about that. There was no way we'd lose. We have Ulrich on our side. He's a match for Draco. Ooh, what you up to, Sophie? I like my favorite side character. You're on the boat. You're on a boat. That's the same boat, but you're on a boat. Sophie looks on at the ocean, watching the ripples and waves. He remains silent, attracting the suspicion of the captain. Approaching Sophie, he attempts to converse to pass the time.
It shouldn't be longer than a few more hours, but I have to ask, what brings you to Alarinthia?
You see, this boil is also blue, but it's muted, so it's not as... Holy shit, you're blue as hell. Like feckin' Deer from Act 1, and his hands. His hands were so aggressive. Otto.
It's probably better for you not to know. I don't want to involve people in my problems.
No.
Involve away. What else are we going to do? You paid me tenfold to take you and you alone. How can you expect me not to question that?
I expect you to do the job you're paid for. Anything else is unnecessary. Don't you agree?
Look, the way I see it, we're friends here. If you need a ferryman back, I'd love to help you out. Treat me with a cold shoulder and you could get stranded.
Is that a threat?
Of course not. I'm just curious. Here, let's start with the basics. What kind of work do you do? You already know what I do.
He's
for a
fired.
living. Don't you think I deserve to know as a courtesy? I don't care if you're breaking the law or anything like that.
No, I'm not breaking the law. But honestly, I don't know how to answer your question. I guess you could say that I'm between things right now.
He just got fired,
And
that's
why
true.
is that?
I thought it was time to seek out better opportunities.
In Alarinthia?
To be honest, I have no idea. I just know some people who might be there. Talking to them should get things on the right track.
And what line of work are you in?
I guess you could say I seek out information. Nothing pleases me greater than learning the truth. But the people I worked for were far less than honest.
Lied to by your bosses? Join the club. They'll do anything to save face and get their way. That's part of why I work on my own now. I get you.
The captain scoffs, surprised at Sophie's earlier hesitance.
Is that what you were so worried to open up about? Trust me, almost everybody knows what that's like. I hope your next opportunity is more fruitful.
So he wants to talk with us.
I can only hope.
That's my assumption, at
What
least.
did they lie to you about?
Everything.
Then I can see why you'd run away.
I'm not running away.
Excuse me?
I just mean, it's totally understandable.
Sovi steps towards the captain, clenching his fists. He brings himself face to face as if trying to intimidate.
I'm not running away. I'm doing what's right.
The captain matches his gaze, taking one step forward. He didn't give in to Sovi's intimidation. He was an even match.
Sometimes running away is the right thing to do.
They stare at each other until Sovi backs away. Something was different. Normally he would stand his ground. But he no longer served the triumvirate. He had nothing to prove.
I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't mean to start something on your boat. Once we get to Alarinthia, you'll never see me again.
There's no need to go that far. Don't misunderstand me. I've got your back.
Aww.
You're not the only man who's run away, you know. Why else do you think I live at sea? Sometimes I don't set foot on land for weeks at a time. I prefer to be out here, where I live on my own terms. I'm free.
Free?
Free.
Yeah, there's no better way to live.
The cadence was different,
Imagine not
but
being
the message
shackled
was
by
the same.
higher-ups. You're fully capable of making your own decisions.
Sovi sighs and looks down at the ground. It was his own decision that got him into this mess to begin with. But even though the triumvirate wasn't pleased, he stood by his actions.
That would be wonderful. I've been a subordinate for my entire life. I think it's finally time.
We're going to recruit
that I
Sovi.
carved my own path.
I think we're at least going to talk with him, but I also think that means we need to stop Ulrich from murdering him. The Colosseum towers above me. It must fit thousands of spectators. From everything I've heard, every seat would be filled when we started. I am filled with anxiety and fright. Could I really perform under such scrutiny? Alright. I wonder if there's gonna be like gameplay for this. No, that's not how I go in. Exit. The main atrium. I enter the Colosseum and quickly scan the area for my friends. A massive flame burns in the center of the room, making the heat even worse. I wonder why they do something like that. This place confuses me sometimes. Dracu is nowhere to be seen. Perhaps he's already in the privet room. I notice Valessa, Fortem, and Hal standing far away from the flame. No sign of anybody else, though. I decide to approach them and ask what's up. They turn to me with a smile, while Hal shows the face of complete indifference.
I can't believe how cool this place is.
It's very warm.
I can't actually enjoy it. I'm super stressed. I'm really worried that
Silly
we
bunny.
might lose somebody today.
Have we actually worked out who's fighting? I mean, which of our members are joining Dracu's reserve forces? The leader and the champion we know, but what about everyone else?
I was gonna say probably anybody who opposes Domik, right? Al steps forward.
Ulrich fights with Vivian. Pro fights with Dracu. Vivian's reserve forces are part of his own army. Dracu's reserve forces will borrow from our army.
Ah, I see, okay.
We believe using our created seers
Oh, boy.
will be the best idea. We wouldn't want to put any of our main members at risk. If we win, our allegiance will make this sacrifice worthwhile.
Our creative series will be the best idea. I guess, I mean, that would help him win, which that's not what we want, but that also is like the best way to keep our own units alive, because they should be able to like avoid death, kind of, right?
It is unfortunate that we will have to kill our own, but we cannot change what Pro has set in motion. All we can do is try to focus on taking Dracu's life.
He looks at me.
As for Valessa's question, the Monarch will fight among Vivian's reserve forces. It is important for the leader to fight for their beliefs. No delegation at times like this. This means that several of our key members will be put in harm's way. It may be impossible for us to avoid the loss of our reserve forces, but we may be able to win without losing any of our comrades. We must simply focus on the lives of Vivian and Draco.
He crosses his arms, speaking sternly. It was more of a demand than a request.
Do your best to kill Draco before any harm can come to Pro or Ulrich. We have the option to mitigate our losses, so we must take it.
No pressure or anything like that.
So you'll be safe, Hal? Along with myself and Fortum? What about Dominic? He ran off with Pro and Ulrich.
I suppose we'll find out. We should head to the private rooms and prepare. The battle will be starting in a matter of minutes.
Dominic ran off with both champions. That's odd. I guess they've been close friends for a long time, though. Perhaps he just wants a chance to say goodbye to them. The odds of survival for everybody involved were less than stellar. But there was nothing we could do. Everything was put into place.
Let's go ask him ourselves, Monarch. This whole ordeal is kind of confusing. For a while, I was scared I'd have to fight.
Yeah, same.
Silly bun.
And I was really worried. But now I feel bad that I'm just going to watch. This whole situation is so messed up.
I wonder if I, missed information somewhere. Is she, a hunter? Does she, hunt things? Or have they, why does she have a bow and arrows on her back?
It is less than ideal, yes. But we cannot change our circumstances.
Let us gather.
Let us gather together for last-minute preparations.
God damn it, Tack. Every time I see heterochromia, I'm going to think of that cat now. Look what you've done.
Only by preparing for the coming storm can we avoid
Every
tragedy.
time.
If we stand here any longer, the odds of losing our comrades will grow. Do not let the enemy get the upper hand. That has happened enough.
I think that's what she chose when leaving Valinor. I think she's had it the whole time. I think. I don't remember. You know how many things live rent-free in my head, Tack, and you've added to it now. You're part of the problem. Bows are pretty cool. She just has it there for style points. He points to a nearby staircase that must lead to the private room. Yeah, everything was happening so fast, I could use a few moments to plan. One last team huddle before the fight would help. We need to minimize our losses. We need to make it through this without losing Pro or Ulrich. If such a thing is even possible, then we'll find out how to do it. And if it's not, well, honestly, I don't know what I'd do. Ah, get a heart-to-heart with him. The flame burns super bright and the heat fills the entire room. I notice a bunch of paper burning at the base of the fire. A few people who walk by throw some more paper in.
What are they doing?
Oh yes, we read about this in a book. They write who they support on a piece of parchment. When they throw it in, the flame continues to burn.
So the flame is only burning during matches?
Yes, their desire for change is the catalyst. They light these flames with their hope for the future. It is anonymous too, so you can support whoever you wish. After the battle ends, the flame dwindles and turns to ash. A clean slate for the victor. That is what this symbolizes.
That's pretty cool. Want to get some parchment, Hal?
Sure, if you would like to partake, we can see if the victor lines up with our wishes.
I sure hope so.
I'm pretty sure he's rooting for me, but I could be wrong. The door leads to the private rooms where we're supposed to prepare. But we wouldn't have much time to prepare, so we'd be fighting pretty soon. Could I use the Blade of Exodus in combat? Do they even know what it is? The stairs lead to an audience seating area. A bunch of people scurry up the stairs, ready for a spectacle. I start to wonder if any of them support Vivian or just Draco. Oh. These are private rooms. We're supposed to prepare. Fight soon. Combat. Whatever. Anything. Shut. I don't think there's anything else. Alright, what do you have to say, Howl? Hal stands in the middle of the Colosseum lobby. Staring deeply in the flames, he looks as though he's lost in thought. He whispers to himself, but I'm unable to discern his words. I take slow, cautious steps towards him, curious as to what he's doing. But, like always, he reacts before I can initiate the conversation.
We knew you'd be there, Monarch.
Yeah, I know. I take a few steps back and cross my arms. He turns to face me and looks me in the eyes.
A few steps backward, as always. But away from what? Do you fear us?
I'm just trying to change it.
You mustn't. You still choose to talk with us. Join us, and we shall look into the flames together. Like our vision, it is always changing, never the same. We've thought about this a lot since we talked on the boat.
What was that show that had like a character that saw like all of the futures all at once all the time? And it was like really awful for them. Or am I making that up? He turns back to face the flames, and I stand by his side. Together we look into the flames, with the heat assailing us. It feels almost unbearable at first, but I soon get used to it.
I know what you're feeling, Monarch. We felt the same when our vision first went astray, but now we find ourselves asking, is it actually astray? Seeing both the future and the past. Is it really bad? For example, we see Draku win the battle, but also Vivian. We see Pro fall, and Ulrich fall. We even see a future where you fall. Instead of seeing only ahead, we see in every direction. It is almost like a natural evolution to the power we hold. If we can learn to control this, it would be a tremendous boon.
Yes, indeed.
The same goes for the visions of the past. Different outcomes, different information, secrets revealed. What if we could search these alternate paths for information? Let us look at the attack on the Rebel HQ in Mazio. Perhaps a past exists where Damak found out about it. Not useful now, but I think you see what we're suggesting.
It makes sense. He's seeing alternate versions of the past. Perhaps versions exist where information comes to light early. If he could learn to control this power, it would help us tremendously. For example, what if a past exists where we didn't bother with Alarinthia? He could search through memories of our attacks on Balteus and glean information. Perhaps we've even made it far enough to learn the Triumvirate's true identity. But unless we could control this power, it would be useless to speculate. It hurts my head just to think about, but I have seen alternate futures firsthand. I have considered the possibility of alternate paths as well. It stands to reason. There's no real explanation for it either, so both were oddities. The old monarchy had the power of visions, but where did it come from? Hal turns to face me, the flames illuminating his differently colored eyes.
We wish to try to master this ability before the final battle. If we can gain any useful information, it would aid our attack on Balteus, especially if it can help us uncover any traitors within our ranks.
Yeah, traitors.
The more we think about it, the more it makes sense. In the Rebel HQ, you were as lambs to the slaughter. The Triumvirate must have been tipped off somehow. Rest assured that if there is a traitor, we will find them. After that, their fate and punishment is yours to decide. It is unlikely that Shane is the only turncoat
dead
among
if I
you.
get the choice. The thought fills me with fright.
Bro even walks along the path of disloyalty, siding with Draku. And making things more complicated, we will keep a closer eye on him. He's most suspicious.
Why did you say it like that? What was that? I must admit, Pro's actions did confuse me. Oh. In fact, everybody in Alarinthia confused me. They treat this Colosseum business like afternoon tea. Like all of this death is just a daily occurrence. It is. This is normal for them. At least, it's kept them introverted. The Triumvirate would like that. Those focused on fighting themselves would be less inclined to rebel.
There is more to this story than we know. We hope that in the end, An alliance is formed. We would prefer to leave this nation as soon as possible. An endless cycle of death, creating strength. Each leader falls to someone stronger than themselves. Through death and sacrifice, Alarinthia gains power. We would prefer to gain power through other means. When you rule this world, Monarch, please consider this. Do not walk down a path similar to the Triumvirate. The occupation was a prime example of their nature. They kill others to gain strength, to ensure they rule. It would pain us to see you become like that. It truly would.
He stares at the sword on my back.
Because you may follow after them without even knowing it. For now, that is all we have to say. There are no other concerns. Next time we talk, perhaps more will have come to light. At least, we hope.
I step away, taking his hint. I can see how mastering his new visions would be helpful, but if any traitors are revealed, that would be devastating. These were alternate paths, he said so himself. What if someone is a traitor only in some far-off past? We could end up punishing somebody innocent and loyal. His words were as cryptic as always, especially about cycles. I know I wield the Triumvirate's blade, but I am not like them. The cycle of death and tyranny would end by my hand alone. I look back over my shoulder, and he's still staring into the flames. Every time I talk to him, he tells me something new about his powers. As we approach our final battle, however, he'd be more rushed than ever. If there were any secrets to be learned, I trust that he could do it. But, as always, a few major questions find themselves at the top of my list. Who was the Triumvirate? Why did they require purity? Are there any traitors? It seemed that Hal would be the key to solving all these mysteries and more. The power that he saw as a curse was now turning into a bountiful source of hope. That was the miracle of changing views. Your curses and your faults become strengths. And if there's anything that would carry us to victory, it would be finding that inner strength. Alright, I've examined everything here. Going to save. Get a map. Appa. Privet room. Wait, hold on. I thought I just saw something in the corner. I saw that. Okay. The private room is small and cozy. One lone window provides a view of the arena. We're all able to fit inside without too much discomfort. Dominic seems to be mediating an argument between Ulrich and Pro. They look in my direction as I enter, but quickly get back to business. Given the circumstances, it made sense that Ulrich and Pro were at odds.
Stop being so stubborn, Ulrich! We can do this without killing each other. Just focus on the leader. That's all you need to do.
I'm going to kill you, Pro.
I don't think you heard me the first time. There's nothing I won't do to secure victory.
Oh, Jesus. He takes heavy steps towards Pro, backing him against the wall.
That means if I have to kill you, I will. And there's no way you're going to convince me otherwise. The future of my nation is at stake. Your life means nothing to me.
You're just telling yourself that, Ulrich. He steps away, having made his point. Dominic interferes, getting in the way of Ulrich.
Look, we can figure something out. There's no need for either of you to die. I'll be fighting down there too, so...
I really don't want to die. Ulrich quickly cuts him off.
Stop controlling everything, Dominic. This isn't even your army anymore. You need to start acting that way.
He's talking to you as a friend.
No, this army belongs to the Monarch. He's the one that will be fighting down there. Besides, planning like that is against the rules. It's a fight to the death, no matter what. Conspiring to prevent that displays a lack of honor. I may want to overthrow this tradition, but I won't mock it.
Violence skill. Oh. He tilts his head.
Mutual respect. That wasn't something I expected, Ulrich. There's nothing I enjoy more than an honorable opponent. It almost makes up for the attempted crashing my ball.
You only have one ball. He tilts his head toward Draco, who stands in the corner of the room. He smirks, a sinister look on his face.
But it doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Where is Vivian, by the way? Did he run?
I was the last one to get here. He should already be here.
No, he's in a separate room. Something about meditating before the fight. I leave him be until it's time to do this. Speaking of which, may I request some time with my comrades? If the battle is starting soon, then some farewells may be in order.
He looks at Pro as if his words were some sort of threat.
Of course. I didn't mean to intrude. As soon as you're ready, we will begin. I'll be in the lobby while I wait for you all.
Singular ball portrait. Soon after we are left alone, just me and my comrades, a tense feeling permeates the air. Things were different now. Even if Ulrich and Pro survived, a rift had grown among our ranks. And at this point in time, I'm unsure if we could mend it. I gulp as I wait in silence and wait for someone to speak. It's Pro. He seems to be acting pretty sensible right now.
Okay, so let's go over this situation before the fight begins. We need to make sure we understand exactly what's going down. The upcoming alliance will ensure our attack on Balteus hits hard. I'm fighting alongside Draco as his champion. The fight is over if either him or myself fall in combat. Our reserve forces will consist of the created seers. On the other hand, Ulrich is fighting alongside Vivian as his champion. The Monarch will fight in Vivian's reserve forces alongside his army. It may not be as strong as Draco's, but Vivian isn't about strength. If Draco wins, the nation will stay exactly the same. But if Vivian wins, he will lead Alarinthia in a new direction. Hopefully, one that allies itself with the new monarchy.
Pro crosses his arms.
Someone will die here today. Either Vivian, Draco, myself, or Ulrich. But these deaths will not be in vain. They will give our army incredible strength. Their lives will help us reshape this world. Or mine. I'm ready to die for this too. We wouldn't stand a chance if we attacked Balteus on our own. An alliance is necessary, and this is the best way we can get it. One life taken here today is worth it to change all of Alestia. To finally take this world back from the Triumvirate, we must simply hope that the Monarch made the right choice. If there even is a right choice in this type of situation.
Probably not.
For example, our allegiance with Vivian isn't guaranteed. If Draco wins, he won't offer us his men. We sided against him. That's a good possibility, given his reputation in the Colosseum.
Bro's really taking charge here. It's impressive.
And about sums it up. Me, Ulrich, and the Monarch need to go to the arena. Everyone else will be given seats to watch us fight. If this is the last time I see you all, then goodbye. It was an honor serving you and fighting for freedom. I can only hope that you gain that freedom.
I really understand what you mean by the bee stings tack. Like when he makes that face, he looks swollen. He stops talking and stands in the corner of the room saying nothing. Velissa and Fortem are nodding as they understand the situation. I didn't realize they were in here. I can tell they were confused before, so his explanation definitely helped.
I don't have much to say. I just wanted to get rid of Draco. I'm not very good at farewells either, so I won't waste your time. Good luck in the future, all of you. I hope to see you again.
He gives us all a slight bow before retreating into another corner. This leaves me with Hal, Dominic, Velissa, and Fortem.
The created seers are already waiting by the arena. I'll take everyone to our seats so we can watch you fight. I guess it's on you now, Monarch. Head to the arena.
Head to the arena
really
now.
Need to rush into it like this? Can't you take some time to prepare? And train?
No.
That would be impossible. Alarinthia takes these battles very seriously. Delaying it.
Leave the arena now. You
all participants.
earned it.
Screw honor then. I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet. There's still so much we need to do.
Sorry, Fortem. I shake my head. There's no point in trying to delay this. Whatever happened, happened. I wouldn't be the tipping point.
Then don't say goodbye. Simply hope that he survives this battle. Cheer him on from the sidelines. Support him.
Hopefully you can't die.
I guess that's all we can really do.
Exactly.
Things will work out for the best.
I mean, if I
Now,
die, the game ends,
due
right?
for some good luck by now. Should we go take our seats?
Yeah, we probably should. Monarch? Good luck.
He smiles at me before leaving the room. Leave the room? I guess not treating this as a goodbye helped them. I made them feel like they'd be seeing us all again. I made them feel like they'd be seeing all of us again. I wish I could guarantee that. I really do. Melissa, Fortem, Hal soon follow suit. I'm left here with Ulrich and Pro. They're silent. There's no point in bickering at the gates of death. Perhaps they've simply accepted what's coming. This battle would start when I went to the arena. The battle that decided the fate of a nation, and by extension, the fate of our entire world. This is the first time I felt the weight of my role. I'm the monarch. I am shaping a world that I'll go on to rule. That is, if I survive the battle in the Colosseum, and in Balteus. It was time to take charge. I'd go to the arena now, and end this. Whether I lived or died, I'd make my mark upon this world. I can get a pro heart-to-heart right before he fucking dies. Nice. I think everybody but Hal is going to be at 4 then. Window overlooks the entire arena. Seats are full and people are talking. I can't believe there's so many people are watching us. There's a book and a sword sitting here. Between the two, a small dagger rests there. I go to touch it, but Pro quickly stops me.
Hey, don't touch that! It's mine! I plan to use it during the upcoming battle. Never touch a weapon that's not your own.
I wanted the book, idiot. I apologize and set my sights onto the set my sights to the book. Why aren't they on you? I apologize. It seems to be about the Grand Library in Balteus. Why was that here? Was somebody studying it?
The Grand Library. Located in Balteus, the Grand Library is something of an anomaly. While many say it contains literature about Alestia's entire history, nobody has ever actually set foot inside. Rumors of a mysterious man tending to the books are rampant. Could such a collection really be under the watch of one individual? Furthermore, what are the books actually about? Members of the Triumvirate's honor guard ensure that nobody but this mystery man enters the library. But who could he be? Just what is the Triumvirate protecting?
Themselves, or something. Nah, I don't think they'd be above destroying history and books and such. Alright, book acquired. Alright, heart-to-heart time. Hi, Pro. I approach Pro, who remains standing in the corner of the room. It looks like he's scared or nervous, but that's understandable. In mere moments, we'd be fighting for the future of our army. A few moments after my steps come to an end, Pro looks at me. Sorrow appears on his face, and it looks like he's filled with regret.
Look, I'm sorry for making things complicated.
Yeah, he's definitely been
looks
stung.
From everybody. They hate me. I put my life at risk and foolishly offered our own army. We need that army for our final attack on Balteus. Everybody thinks I've condemned us to death, but it's not true. This situation is super complicated and their vision is so narrow. I wish this didn't have to happen right now, especially after we've been growing closer as friends. I'm guessing that this is it for our friendship, isn't it?
No. Of course not. I forgive you, bro.
Wait, seriously? Thank you. Oh, I was so scared you'd cut things off. I really value our bond, Monarch. I swear.
Aww. Don't go
We sided
dying.
with Vivian, so this was a total gamble. It's good to know that we can endure a difference in opinion. Ulrich wasn't giving me the same courtesy. I think he'd even kill me.
He's said this multiple times. Launch. Anyway, you said that.
But I guess I can understand why he'd do that. This isn't just about an alliance to him. This is his home. He wants to change it for the better, like we all do with Alestia. I know this whole situation is really confusing. To be honest, I don't even know every little detail. But as long as we all trust each other, it'll work out.
He takes a few steps, closing the distance between us. His eyes are filled with hope now, a stark contrast to moments ago.
Thank you so much, Monarch. I know there isn't much time, so we need to get going. But that's all I needed to talk about. I'm good to go. After this battle, we'll have a long chat. There's so much I need to tell you, but I just can't right now. I promise that at the end of the day, this will all make sense.
He smiles and makes his way out of the room. Guess it was time. The fight would finally begin. I'm glad that my bond with Pro could remain intact. Loyalty scene available. Alright, ready to get this show underway. Go to the arena now and... Oh wait, no, that's why, because there's like no announcer for... Visiting the Colosseum will cause a long series of cutscenes to play. Doing this will also conclude your visit with Alarinthia. Knowing this, would you like to continue to the Act 4 finale? God damn it. It's 11 o'clock and that's the problem. But I don't want to leave it off on a cliffhanger. But I might. If I should do the responsible thing and actually not do this now. But I don't like cliffhangers. I mean, I do, but I don't. Well, cliffhangers are okay. I understand why they exist. Especially in, like, shows and such. I think, as much as I hate to do it, I think I'm going to do the same thing, though. Because if it is long, I don't want to be up at midnight. That's kind of a problem.